In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris. I didn't do anything.
I know. I'm shocked.
I thought it might distract you more if I did nothing, and you were staring right at me as you said all those words.
Well, I mean, heaven forbid that the evidence of the previous 100 episodes would cause me to think that.
No, but I thought that's exactly what I tried to prey on, if you like. That I doing nothing, it seemed to distract you more, if anything, than me being a dick.
You're unpredictable. That's the problem.
I'm predictably unpredictable, or unpredictably predictable. One or the other.
That's great.
Or both, but not neither.
Okay, that's cool. If you enjoy A Show Called Hate, I'm going to get the business shit out of the way.
If you're going to do a business shit on
Business shit. Please refrain from doing a business shit.
The audio's bad.
How would you define a business shit?
Well, I had a friend that suggested
I feel like Nick's thought about this even.
I have. Yeah,
Okay.
well, I have a friend who refers to corporate shits. And corporate shits are when you do a shit at work and you get paid to shit, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah.
that
So
is
I reckon
good,
a business shit is connected to a corporate shit. But a business shit is where you are...
You're locked in.
well, you're sat around the conference table on a toilet.
Oh, no.
And you are pitching big business as you shit. I mean, is there any greater alpha move than shitting while talking to your compatriots?
Is that hipster or is that the opposite of hipster?
I think it's like max capitalism.
Okay.
Yeah, like shitting while talking to your
Well, why
minions.
take a break? Why take a break?
Exactly,
because
because it shows how committed you are to business.
Are you
Sit
doing
on the
it
toilet.
on the table or near the table? Is
No,
what I'm saying.
well, I was thinking you were sat, like your chair is at the top of the conference table, head of the table, and it's a toilet.
Yeah.
Your chair is just a toilet.
Oh, so everyone walks in and they can see it's a toilet.
Yeah. And you're sat on it, your trousers are down around your ankles.
You're already sitting.
You're already there.
Yeah.
You're like, come on, sit down.
Everyone down.
Everyone's very now, obviously on the back foot.
Yeah.
'Cause you're sat there, bottomless,
Sure.
mid-shit. Probably.
Yeah.
You've already begun, I reckon.
And of course, like from a waist up, it's like shirt, tie.
It's business.
Blazer.
Yeah, blazer. Yeah. Medal. Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The only thing I'm thinking is that HR would be like, oh, you've got to have a comfortable toilet.
Oh, true.
You've got to have a toilet that can support your back for 8 hours a day.
Your
a back support.
Yeah.
Lumbar support.
You need lumbar support, otherwise it's bad, isn't
your
it?
knees
It's bad.
have to
You
be...
need a 5-minute break every hour of
Mid-
shitting.
of shitting, yeah.
Just walk around
Yeah.
for 5 minutes.
The thing is, if we're getting into the territory of like having a supportive cushion
Yeah.
in your lower back,
On the
are
toilet.
there not hygiene issues there?
Well, it's a minefield, isn't it? That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
A business shit
literally.
practically
this is what it takes.
doesn't work, does it?
This is what it takes to have a business shit. You've got to go all in.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could launch your own consultancy around that ethos, couldn't you? If the businesses were to launch that,
I think
which I think they should. Personally.
given the way alpha dog business works, I think some brave pioneer will bring a toilet into the boardroom.
Yes.
And then the disruptive next wave of business leaders will go, these toilets are holding us back, and they will just drop trowel.
And shit where they are.
Yeah, and just do a full animalistic squat on the floor.
Why
The
does the bit of the toilet where you don't poo in, right?
Wait,
Why is
the back bit, the cistern.
the back? Why is that porcelain?
What are you saying? Could it just be like a
Yeah,
a
like
bag
plastic?
full of water?
Could be anything, couldn't it?
A bag full of water.
It could be like what I mean is it could be like a comfortable chair back.
It is.
Couldn't it?
Yeah.
When you first said back support,
Yeah.
I was thrown a little bit because I've never thought about trying to be comfortable.
No.
And leaning back. I never lean
But what I
back
mean is
on the
I-
toilet.
No.
Yeah.
Because if I lean back on the toilet,
Exactly.
my t-shirt,
Yeah.
because I don't always shit completely naked.
Sure.
My t-shirt is touching the underside of the lid of the toilet.
Yeah.
If I'm shitting.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah.
Which isn't probably the cleanest thing in the whole
no,
world.
No.
Yeah. But I appreciate why the inside needs to be porcelain because of
Because the poo goes in.
all the poos,
All the poos.
all of that. But surely we're at a stage in our evolution now where, if you don't mind me saying, John, where we can do something else with the back of the toilet.
Like an
something
aquarium.
fun.
Yeah, you
something
can.
fun.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no. At first, I was like, "This man's a maniac," and I don't know why he's on our podcast.
Thank you.
But I've come around inside that.
inside that in that brief 20-second window. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. With modern engineering,
Sure.
there would presumably be no need to have the high back at all. That water could be stored elsewhere.
Well, sometimes you get toilets that don't seem to have it, or it's hidden inside the
Yeah.
wall or something.
This is
It's like a desktop computer, isn't it?
Yeah,
in
hide
many
the
ways.
tower.
in many ways.
You don't need any of that.
But this is what I'm saying. If you walked
Apple toilet.
into a room and the sit-down toilet had no cistern, it was just a kind of cauldron in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Well, right, not against a wall. But
Not
just
against
right-
the wall, just it's like that would be disconcerting.
Imagine as well if it was perfectly circular. It was like, rather than an oval, it was like a perfectly circular, like an egg cup.
Yeah.
Like a big egg cup
Yeah.
in the very middle of a wet room.
And it's very tall in comparison to the actual aperture for pooping.
Maybe
So-
it's on a dais sort of thing. So you have to go up a couple of
Yeah.
steps and then you reach the egg
And-
cup in the middle of the
and
room. It's
you-
like the Holy Grail.
You can't sit comfortably on it, so you actually have to kind of like fall into it.
Mm.
So like your ass is down, but your
I
knees,
see.
your
Rest of
knees
you
are
down.
like up by your
Yeah.
your
like when you
ears.
fall through a life ring when you're in a swimming
Exactly
pool.
like when you fall through a life
Yeah.
ring in a swimming pool and shit yourself, which
which has never happened to me.
it's a kind of instantaneous kind of just it's like a gag reflex, like it just happens the moment
You're upended like that.
Yeah.
Your ankles go up past
Yeah.
your ears. You shit.
Yeah.
It's like when a wild animal is cornered, and they will instantly void their bowels just to speed themselves up.
Yeah.
Because that's
would.
that's
Get
mass,
rid of the extra weight.
that's mass you don't need.
Have you ever sat on a toilet backwards like you'd sit on a chair backwards? So
Yes.
you're facing the system.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Have
yeah.
you?
Yes, I have.
Have
yeah.
you shat or pissed in that?
I've
position?
done it all. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've lived.
I did it.
Sounds like it because I haven't done this.
Yeah, I did it for fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, I'm conscious of the bottom of the.
It did feel like putting
Lid.
your trousers on backwards, didn't it?
It's
You know what I
quite-
mean? That feeling where something's wrong, but it feels okay.
So right.
I found it surprisingly liberating because you've got somewhere to rest your elbows.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
And you could put a TV on the back wall.
Yeah.
Like above the system, couldn't you? You could rest on there.
You could have a master system.
You have a master system
Yeah.
on there. Yeah. That's master system.
Toilets, really. Now that I think about
That's
it,
very
are
clever. I said a
under
very clever thing.
Oh, did you?
I said master system.
Oh, that was
I
good.
didn't want
yeah.
that.
Oh,
to,
God,
I didn't
that's-
want that to go unnoticed.
Guys, I'm going to write that.
Write that
Just
down.
write that
John.
down.
Write that
down,
one
yeah.
down.
Yeah, just write that down. Okay, carry on, please.
Toilets are woefully under commercialized, aren't they? Now that I think about it.
You're saying you're a prisoner there for like.
But they're the same, aren't they? They all look the same.
They do
Like
all
a
look the
child
same.
could draw a picture of a toilet, and that would be pretty much every toilet.
Mm.
But every other product, conceivably, has some sort of variation to it.
Well, how would you kind of,
Well,
add some flair?
I come up
Lumbar
with
support.
a comfortable back for starters,
Okay.
and then just go from there. Really, keep the porcelain on the innards,
The thing is,
and then just work with everything else.
presumably
Yeah.
there's no way to be comfortable without padding, and padding is by its very
Inherently soft.
nature soft, which is absorbent. There's going to be a certain because you see
But
pictures.
people are
of-
clever. There's ways around that kind of thing.
You see pictures of like apparently people would use like a seat like sock. Like
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that freaks me
you
out.
put some fabric over it.
Yeah, I've
That's
seen
not
those.
good.
One of the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in my life was a hard wooden chair, and it was just so well designed. Like it had this like curve in the spine and everything. Honestly, it blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. I wish I could buy that chair, but it's probably thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
If you could apply that same like technology to a toilet, it wouldn't need to be soft.
No. It would just be like perfectly sculpted ivory.
There
Yeah.
must
To your
spine.
spine.
there must be a way, and I'm stunned that it's not happened until now.
We'll get working on
I've
it.
been thinking about this for 8 minutes now.
We'll get the
and I'm just amazed that nobody's thought of anything.
we'll get the show called Hey R&D team on it.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying the show and the high-end content we put out, you can support us
Oh, yeah.
at patreon.com/Big Punch Studios, where you'll find a smorgasbord, a light smorgasbord of secret
A disappointing Weatherspoons dessert.
of secret content. Featuring our latest addition
Yes.
to the Black Library.
Oh, we're calling it that.
I guess, yeah. We did a commentary track for Sonic the Hedgehog
Yeah.
2020?
Yeah.
Is that when it came out?
Yeah.
2020. You're confused because that was the year of the pandemic.
Well-
and it was the month before it started.
Yeah.
Only just.
It was a simpler time. We had
Yeah.
a delightful steak dinner.
Yes,
We did.
we
All out together
It was
outside.
Valentine's Day
It was.
and your
Valentine's
wife's
Day.
birthday.
Yep.
Three
What a
cou-
way to celebrate.
Three couples went for a steak dinner and then we watched Sonic the Hedgehog in
Yeah,
cinemas.
lovely.
So you can listen to the commentary track on our Patreon. And if you don't fancy...
It's worth mentioning, sorry to interrupt, it's worth mentioning at this point, but that anecdote never came up while we did the commentary track. We didn't mention that once in the commentary track.
Because I feel we've mentioned it like 18 times in the course of the show.
Maybe.
And if you don't want to get on the Patreon, we won't judge you.
We will a little.
Wow.
You can support the show by leaving us a review.
What if it's a bad review?
Even bad reviews.
Where do we want bad reviews?
We'll take anything.
Okay.
But we'll only read the good ones out on air.
Let's be
Sure.
honest, we don't
Yeah.
give a shit if it's a bad review.
I will be 100% honest at this point and say I don't know how to access the reviews.
Well, here's the thing. Find us on
That
Apple.
was a setup for you, John. There you go.
Find us on,
I just don't know.
find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can leave reviews now.
Can you?
Apple Podcasts is frankly a little outdated and weird.
Yeah, who listens on that anymore?
No one does it anymore. But if you wouldn't mind logging
I've
in,
been trying to uninstall iTunes all of my life.
Sorry, what
I don't think it's possible.
What are we on? We're on SoundCloud.
No, we're not on SoundCloud.
We're on
Podbean.
MySpace.
Podbean, Bebo,
Yeah.
Weebo.
Yes, Weebo, which is the anime
Pinterest.
version. Yeah, we're probably on Pinterest.
Probably on Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
Plenty of fish.
We're on
Yep.
We're on
Yep.
Mastodon.
Yep.
We've got a GeoCities site.
Okay.
Yeah,
GeoCities.
HTML1.
Oh, those are the days.
We're also
weren't
on Google Earth.
they? Yeah. Live right now.
Oh, and Ask Jeeves, I think. If you type in
Ask Jeeves.
hate, probably.
Yeah.
Can I hate,
It's the
please?
first result.
Jeeves?
I think if you put in "hey," we're probably the first thing that comes up. I
I
would imagine.
Oh yeah.
In a way, I hope we are, because that means we're winning.
But weird thing is when you get
battle.
I wonder how much hate costs on the old SEO platforms.
when you get emails, when we get emails from SEO hacks who are
Sure.
like, "Hey,
Do you want to be number one on Google?
I've enjoyed following your podcast,
Yeah.
but I think your SEO could be improved." I'm like, how? I mean, like
Yeah.
honestly, like how? Like
Seriously,
what? Like
yeah.
love? No.
Yeah.
No.
Hate?
No.
Podcast?
Definitely
No.
not.
Yeah.
Comedy podcast, fuck off.
I mean, I wouldn't want to throw money at this podcast anyway, if I'm honest.
No.
The listener should, but I won't.
I mean, that's good money after bad, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I
It's-
much prefer it as a drain of money than something we
Yeah.
invest in. Like,
yeah, I think so.
really like that.
I mean, we've committed to it now, so we might as well.
At least when you have a downwards trajectory, you still have a trajectory. Which
Yeah,
is
that's it,
nice. Yeah, we
There's
got
nothing worse than being plateauing.
You can't stand still, even if you fall. It's
Not in
fine.
this industry.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have something to aspire to,
Yeah.
isn't it? Anyway, episode 101.
Whoa, double figures. Wait.
Whoa.
Quadruple figures. isn't it?
Quadruple
Yeah.
figures, that's it. Yeah.
We're back.
Oh, we are back. Yeah.
It feels
this
like
is
a
bit
while.
of a come down, isn't it?
It does
really?
feel like a little while, actually.
Because we took a bit of a break over Christmas.
we
did.
deserved it.
We've been working
earned
very
it,
hard, yeah. And it's this attention to our strict schedule, which means that
Yeah.
it's taken us 4 years to hit 100 episodes, which is remarkable.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, it's longer than that, I think.
2017 we started.
Because actually, 100 episodes would mean we're roughly on schedule because there's 52 weeks in a year.
Think about
We
it.
record every fortnight. So that's 25 episodes per year. Over
Yeah.
4 years, that's 100.
Oh, I suppose it's not too
It makes
bad.
it-
Yeah,
Yeah.
John
Makes it look like
Jason,
it's all
he was about to
intentional.
try and make me look stupid.
The only problem is that in the early days we did it every week, and
Yeah.
Did we?
Well, at one point,
for the
we
first few episodes.
Yeah,
Did we really
yeah,
do it every week?
and then
Yeah.
we agreed that we couldn't come up with stuff that quickly. So
Yeah.
we said, let's do it every fortnight.
And then we had like a 7-month.
And then
break or something.
even that feels like a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, we didn't record for like 7 months. And then we were...
And we'd earned that.
We
I-
deserve-
We'd really,
we deserve
we'd
that.
really working very hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like
After what, like 12 episodes? or
Maybe
something?
less.
Well, apparently, I like the idea that after 3 episodes, we were like, "John, we got to pace this out, or it's gonna be a real slog
It's gonna
soon."
be
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we had like episodes 60 through 70, where we're like, "We're scraping the barrel
Yeah.
here."
Yeah,
There's
I
nothing-
honestly thought that I didn't have anything left to hate anymore in those years.
No.
There was a point where I thought, and
done it.
to
We've
be
done
honest, every week now I still think, what am I going to talk about?
Yeah, I tend to decide on the walk over to your house.
Yeah, that's great. Though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had a shower before I came out, and I decided whilst I was in the shower. It's not shower related though.
No, I thought you
thank
smelled
God.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's got a hate?
I've got hate.
Nick's got a hate.
Nick's got a hate.
I came up with
sleeping
it
in
as
there.
I was just walking down. As I was.
Oh, did you?
that's
You
what
no, I
did-
didn't.
yeah, you should have
To be fair,
mentioned.
I didn't come up with it.
That's-
I had it in the tank.
That's what people pay for. you know?
Yeah. I
Put it in the
hate
cistern.
nudist
Oh.
greetings cards.
Good.
I don't just hate nudists.
Wait. Wow. Okay.
Nudist greeting cards. I'm sure you've seen them. If you take but a shred of a glance at the greetings card
Yeah.
shelf, there will be about 50 cartoon drawings
Yeah.
of naked old people.
Yeah.
And they're always very wrinkly and they're always very saggy.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the extent of the joke.
That is the joke.
It's
yeah.
the laziest It's the laziest illustration gig that there is available. You draw a fat old balding man who's caught the sun too much. He's very hairy. He's got a big old gunt. He's got a very little peen, tiny little peen just hanging out the bottom of that because you can't.
Oh, there is a peen. I was about to say you never see a peen on these cards.
Quite often you don't see a peen, but sometimes there is a peen there.
When does an arse become a peen? That's the question.
About
in the middle somewhere. Probably.
Yeah, somewhere around the gooch.
Somewhere in the undercarriage.
The perineum.
Isn't that weird though? Because we're quite a prudish country. You can't.
But it's all from this seaside postcard, raunchy seaside postcard.
In my mind's eye, I can see it now.
Yeah, which I also take issue with, just because I don't like that cartoon style, and I don't like that whole it's kind of raunchy and risque, but at the same time, it's just so British and that British kind of raunchy, which just isn't at all.
But what is the logic? That's you're picking at a rich vein here, because the logic of a seaside postcard is that it's 1950s Britain,
and it always is.
We still haven't shaken rationing. We've all got rickets.
Everyone's in a woolen swimsuit.
Everything's black and white, but for one glorious weekend a year, we go to Blackpool and we just fuck like animals.
Yeah,
is that
it?
We have
nothing screams birthday like that. Aesthetic, doesn't it?
I know, right? And so now you're tasked with getting a greetings card for, I don't know, Auntie Ethel.
Yeah.
And it's I know what she'll like. This picture of an old woman with long tubular boobs that reach the ground.
They hang out of her nightdress.
Two long snakes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, when I go to the newsagents,
I was about to say who laughs at this, but we're just
having a
here
great
laughing.
time.
Now.
It's a very funny show.
When I go to the newsagents around the corner, and they've got that weird kind of proper porn. Not this. We're not talking.
Yeah,
it's weird. That's another thing. We can get onto that.
Right.
It's weird to think.
We'll get there.
It's weird to think that 2 streets away from where I live, there is a place that I can buy pornography, full on,
and not this kind of weird sanitized internet pornography, this kind of.
No, and not your nuts and FHM loaded shit. No, I'm talking grey bar over the.
Danny Dyer would not have a column in this.
He would not want to.
It's but when that's on display, the cover is all greyed out.
Yeah,
and
it's in a bag, and you can basically see her eyes,
and they look hungry.
They do.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anyone. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because obviously it does.
It must.
I've never seen anyone buy one of those.
No,
ever.
No.
But there must be a demand for it because every newsagent has them.
But you could literally go on Google and type boobs into Google. I don't know if you've tried this, but it works. You type
do the O's turn into boobs?
Oh,
that would be
that would be
what Google just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see
we're getting very carry on, aren't we, with this episode already?
And that's another thing I have an issue with. Carry on's
one,
part of this
DNA. One issue at a time.
Yeah. You can go on Google, you can type in boobs, you can see a boob. What did you say?
I said one issue at a time, like Growler. Getting your newsagents.
God.
By now.
Sorry, carry on.
Doesn't have a toy on the front of it, does it? Or maybe some of them do, I don't know. But
not like the Beano.
It's got a frisbee.
It's got one of those extendable spoons for eating your cereal from a distance.
For after the sex.
Everyone has a frisbee. Time.
It's dark, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
All I was saying is that has to be censored.
Yeah.
Because we're not it's not the Netherlands, we're all very
it's not
straight laced here.
Very.
And yet I can go to WH Smith's and buy Granny a cartoon of a guy with his dick out.
Yeah.
And that's.
And yes, it's a tiny.
But
tiny
when did that start happening?
Well, this is the thing. I think it's
just
been forever.
Yeah.
I've seen it when I saw it when I was a kid. And like you said, 1950s seaside postcards, and probably before then.
See, what I'm imagining in my head right now is not necessarily a cartoon. I'm imagining a grayscale card where the deck chair is coloured in, and you just got 2 nudists, one bloke, one lady, holding hands, and you just see their asses looking out to sea. That's what I've got. That's what a photo.
I've seen those.
That's what I've got in my head now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the ones.
Now, Nick, you're an illustrator of some renown.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't expecting that on this podcast.
And
was that an announcement, or is
do you feel that validation has finally happened? Yeah?
Thank you. Yeah, I needed it.
Do you feel that getting into greetings cards is a good gig, and B, as a kind of supplementary question, is photoshopping naked people the easiest job in the world?
Photoshopping them to do what?
For greetings cards.
Just finding a black and white picture and photoshopping
onto
a card.
If you said to someone, I'm an illustrator and I make greetings cards, everyone would go oh, that's quite charming. May I see your style?
Yeah.
And your style is basically finding public domain photos.
Yeah, you go on stock.
And just cropping them in a humorous way.
Yeah, crop it, apply a sort of slight black and white filter to it so it looks old-timey.
Yeah.
And then put it on, and then just write a joke underneath. It's like, Harold, stop staring, or something.
Yes.
And then that's the joke. That's the joke. You've done it.
I love that one.
You've done it.
I love that one.
I said deck chair, not deck hair.
I thought you were going to say dick chair.
Dick
That
chair.
would have been good, wouldn't it?
Hair.
Dick hair.
Dick hair.
We should go into business together.
I think you've got to get Harold into it. It's always Harold.
It's always Harold.
Yeah, Marjorie.
It's always the old lady having a go at Harold because he's looking at sexy babes on the nudist beach. And that's another weird thing, is that it's always like, it's two old people, typically. Tubular boobs, massive gun, caught out in the sun, very wrinkly.
Stop saying
Tubular boobs. My favourite album.
Mike Oldfield spent 5 years just getting that right.
Tubular boobs.
Oh, God.
And then always there's like a woman who's a young woman in the scene, and she's drawn totally differently to the two old wrinkly.
Yeah, sure.
And she's drawn like Jessica Rabbit. She's like two lines.
Yeah, it's always like absolutely perfect supermodel and just a troll in the background.
And he's just like,
yeah, and the woman's just like, oh,
Harold.
It's supposed to be our vacation.
There we go.
Or something that doesn't make any sense.
That'll do. You've just done one. You've just done a card.
We just did a card.
You just shout one out.
I'm trying to think of a.
Sounds painful.
Shout out a card. The paper card.
I'm trying to think of a boner joke to do with a beach because there would be one, wouldn't there? It'd be like.
What about something like he's lying on his back and Marjorie says something like, "Periscope's up."
Yeah, that's pretty.
Or that'll support the windbreak.
Oh, there we go.
You're wasted on us.
I know.
Yeah, I never thought.
This is my true calling. I'm going to design newfangled bogs and do greetings cards.
They're kind of connected.
Yeah, I can do that.
There's a bit of cross. I don't know.
Can you
raised bogs and cards.
There you
That's
go.
what I'll call it.
Raised bogs and cards.
There's a subgenre of this, and I think it's like old people greetings cards.
Yes.
Not cards for necessarily old people.
No, but old people, they're the butt of the joke.
Yes, and maybe they're not always at the beach. Maybe they're not always naked.
No,
but they're always pretty like lewd.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I think the idea is it's incredibly. You can do as much nudity as you want.
Sure.
If they're old. Because when they're old, they're no longer a sexual being, I guess, is the theory. So it's like you do a long tubular boob.
Sure.
Or just one.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's not a boob. It's not like you're looking at a boob. No. It's not hentai. It's like this is just it's a stupid joke.
When does eroticism become comedy?
Yeah. Is there an age?
Is there an optimum age?
When will our bodies become hilarious?
Well. I'm not sure we should use us as a bedrock for this argument.
Way too sexy.
I wonder if other countries have this, or this is just like a British W.H. Smith's thing, the leading news agents. Because like, if you want Christmas cards, say, there's really only one, unless you go to like a fancy card shop, you're probably going to go to... Yeah, that's fancy.
Go to Clinton's.
You're probably going to go to like Smith's.
they stock these cards.
Anywhere does.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's prudeness masquerading as openness. Like, it looks like, oh, we're really comfortable with bodies and nakedness, even when they're old people. But we're not.
No.
It's literally the opposite of that. And that's why the joke is so prevalent and why it's always those old people, because we're actually terrified of seeing a naked body.
I think the thing that annoys me more is just the sheer laziness.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Because I reckon if you can establish a brand or a style as a greetings card, it's like there are some better ones.
Yeah,
like you've had the hand drawn, you can see like a little bit of work has gone into them.
Sometimes there's a great greetings card out there.
There's this one brand, for lack of a better word, of Christmas cards, which are hand drawn, and it's always like Santa and a reindeer, and the reindeer can talk.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and it's not.
Isn't it a sort of Far Sidey sort of
kind
style?
of? It's not amazing artwork.
No,
but it's always like a near joke.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's
joke
not
adjacent.
It's not actually funny.
No,
and if you break it down in your head, you're like, this doesn't actually have the structure of a joke. Like, here's one. See if you can picture it. Okay. It is an ugly Rudolph because it's not a very appealing drawing,
like a goblin.
And
in context, he's just Rudolph.
Yeah, he's got a red nose,
but he looks.
It's just like an ugly, unappealing reindeer.
I understand.
And it's Christmas Eve, obviously. So the sleigh, Santa's sleigh, is parked in a garden of a house which is covered in snow.
Right.
And the reindeer is holding up his arm, and there is a dog chewing on his arm.
Right.
And so the reindeer has a pair of scissors which he is holding over the dog's testicles.
Right.
And the reindeer goes, "I'll ask you again. Let go." That's a Christmas card.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Now I notice you're all laughing. I've had to cut that in post.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first.
If we actually had laughed and you cut it, that would have been much better.
My first thing is, there are testicles. Someone drew the testicles on a Christmas card.
On a dog. On a Christmas
on
card.
a dog. A dog's testicles. That's one thing we have to chew on. Not literally. It's not funny.
It's not really.
It's not funny at all.
No.
Who are these cards for? Because do you ever get one of these? Imagine getting that card that you've just described. Like, is the hope by buying that card for someone that they'll be like, that's amazing.
That's hilarious.
That is. I'm going to keep that forever.
The thing is, that card, I have seen that card every year.
Yeah.
Probably for at least a decade.
It's the same with the nudist ones.
It's
They
because
just
they
churn
couldn't sell them the
designs
previous
out.
year.
We use the same stock.
They use the same stock every year, probably.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
that's not even ironically funny, is it? Because some of these cards you could at least pass off as being ironically funny.
Sure.
Like, oh, that's funny because, of tubular boobs.
Yeah,
And things like that.
Tubular boobs would actually be funny.
And it's like it's so shit that I appreciate it for
I'm picturing an old lady, and her boobs are going up into that triangle shape of the tubular bells.
I know what you're going to say.
But it's her boobs.
Oh no!
And it's like, it says tubular boobs underneath. That would actually be very, very funny.
It would be,
It'd
be very funny.
Yeah,
yes, that's
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
I'm horrified. I think I know the album cover you're referencing, and my brain is rebelling at the anatomy that would be required.
I can see it very clearly. It kind of looks like. Do you remember that screensaver on old Windows computers where all the pipes? Were
No!
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that, but with a boob snake.
You see, that's weird. Like, I had not thought about that screensaver in years, and then earlier today,
Really?
yeah, I saw
Isn't
it.
that amazing?
This often happens. This weird sort of convergence thing where
Yeah.
people's
We hang out
minds-
too much.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Some would say.
When I was on my illustration degree, we had a whole section, and in fact, I had a project where I had to do greetings cards because it is kind of a staple of an illustrator's like.
Oh, did you have
toolbox.
to come up with a joke or just do a?
No, we were. I can't remember what I did now, but we were basically given. The brief consisted of like a get well soon card, a something else card, and a Christmas card or birthday card.
So it's like it's nudist. It's like
it's nudists across the board.
It's like a hospital bed of just like a naked man with flowers going, "I'm so sorry."
Because it's
sorry for your loss.
I remember that my illustration for the Get Well Soon card was because I was in a very rad era of my artwork.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of haven't got out of it, to be honest. And it was this kid, and he was... It's such a bad card. It was a kid, and he's all bandaged up, and his arm's in a sling, but he's riding on a giant syringe like a surfboard, and it's just flying right out of the card, right into your face. It's like, get well! He's a massive syringe to the face. And I remember drawing it. I was like, "Yep, nailed the brief."
Nailed the brief.
My tutor was like, "It's a bit intense, isn't it?"
You will get well.
Yeah.
It's not a wish; it's a demand.
Maybe that's what you need.
Maybe.
A real shot in the arm, so to speak. Yeah.
You'd keep that card, I reckon.
The greetings card industry is kind of weird, isn't it? Because it's like you are culturally now we are primed to give a card for every major life event.
Oh yeah,
and of course,
and sometimes not even major.
Yeah.
No, but you'll go
Happy,
driving test
birthday.
passed. Yeah.
Inverted commas. Jesus.
Happy mineral half-life.
Happy. Yeah. Happy half Tuesday or something. Yeah.
Got halfway through a Tuesday.
I actually like those ones.
Yeah,
but
it's quite good. Yeah.
It's like if you go into like any shop where you can buy cards.
I know what a shop is. Yeah.
John barely does.
Sorry, I made eye contact. with you.
John said that to me like I'd never heard the word shop.
I'm vaguely. I don't want to keep saying W.H. Smiths.
Okay.
You know,
It's a good shorthand though.
Because they're like all the grotty news agents you could imagine, but they all like conglomerated and became a high street.
It's true.
Name.
W.H. Smith's is too expensive for stationery now.
Yeah.
If you go for stationery, don't bother.
No.
Where would you go for stationery?
Amazon.
eBay.
Somewhere cheap.
Yeah.
Or an independent shop that charges a reasonable amount.
That's what you should have said first.
Sure.
Can you edit it?
Can you edit that? The other way. Do it the other way around.
Yeah. Give me some clean audio of you saying that now. So my issue with greetings cards is that like as you're going down the road, obviously birthday, great,
Great.
wedding, cool,
Standard.
Then of course you get to the sad section,
God.
And it's like,
It's just called sad at the top of the shelf.
And it's like,
sorry, I trod on your foot.
well, and it's obviously like, sincere condolences.
Yeah.
So the same company which is pumping out like Ethel and Harold down at the beach, like it bums out, dick, boobs
swinging.
flapping in the wind,
Triangular boob shape.
are like, then they have to put on like, a very serious face. And they go,
But Harold's still there.
Yeah.
He's just really small.
Harold's still there naked at the funeral.
Yeah.
But it was like, and then his wife's just like, oh, Harold.
Oh, Harold. Not again.
Isn't it kind of weirdly like tactless and commercial?
It really is.
Because you're like,
Everything is.
but you're like, oh, the worst thing in the world has possibly happened. I hope I
Yeah.
can find a card that sums up
I know.
all
Yeah.
that feeling.
I
wouldn't bother with the card for
No, not for
for
sad things.
sad
Because
things,
it
yeah.
feels very disingenuous, I think. Like, it's actually worse.
Yeah.
Like, if something good happens, you get a card, it's like, I don't really care because the good thing happened to me. The card's just a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But if something really sad happens and you get a card that's got, like, because they've always got the same things on the front. They've just basically got flowers, haven't they?
Yeah.
Just like a rose or something. It just says condolences.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of worse than if you'd sent nothing. I honestly think
I would rather get a letter or like a tweet
Yeah.
than a card.
Yeah.
Or text, or
Yeah.
someone come to say hi and give me a punnet of grapes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they've got to walk such a fine line because like, what do you do? Like, does the image just have like flowers on it,
Yeah.
or does it have like a dove crying on it, or
Cartoon dove crying.
or it's like a sad teddy bear on a cliff top or something like that?
Windswept.
Yeah,
in the
it's
rain.
like,
Yeah.
how do they?
I guess you don't want to make them feel worse.
Is there?
No,
I suppose
no.
there must be a funny like sympathy card, like a
I bet there is.
comedy one.
But again, walking a very fine
Yeah,
line there.
I don't know how that would go though.
Could be worse.
Oh, Harold! I only wanted one part of you to get stiff.
Oh!
Something like that.
Yeah,
you
and
never
it's
get
Harold-
stiff when I wanted you
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of thing.
And it's Harold, but his legs up in a cast.
yeah.
Yeah.
And his dick's in a little cast.
And or it's a coffin, but there's like a bulge in the
Yeah.
coffin.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
Excellent. This is excellent content.
that. Yeah, we've done it. Again, we've done it.
We've nailed that.
Nailed the coffin.
Raise bogs and cards.
Raise boxing cards.
There you
Come
go.
on down.
I've got a hate.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you wait your turn.
Getting lion.
You
No, I don't want to go.
I hate Downton Abbey and its ilk.
Oh, are we talking period dramas generally?
Well, we're putting out getting rid of this. I think it's time to put it in the pan. This love affair with that particular period of history.
Yeah.
The
What?
stately
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
The stately home drama.
But Downton Abbey is wildly popular.
I know.
I've never seen an episode of Downton
I've
Abbey.
particularly
never seen an
outside, neither
episode
have
either.
I.
No.
No, particularly outside of this country as well, because I think we get very
Yeah.
it's romanticized Britishness,
Yes.
which is practically our only export.
Well,
now.
I think that's what other people think we're like now.
yeah.
Oh, quite.
We all still wear like
Yeah,
buttresses or whatever.
it's things like John saying "quite," which is why people think we're
Quite.
like that now.
Look, okay, I'm the enact-
quite, forsooth.
To be honest, we're now one of those exports. This podcast is listened by quite a few Americans.
I mean, I would say this is more accurate of what Britishness is like than Downton Abbey.
Yeah. But that said, I am wearing a powdered wig right now.
Yeah.
I'm wearing 3 waistcoats layered up, just like
And-
they would back in the day.
and you're just surrounded by quail.
So much quail.
So much
Some of it alive, some of it dead.
and my servant's due any time now.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yes. I'll just ring the bell.
So as a side note, do you ever notice that, like, whenever you see, I find this on YouTube particularly, whenever I see a British person on YouTube,
Yeah.
they're not just British. They are the most
Yeah.
British person I've ever heard.
Is that what we sound like, though? Is that what we sound
Well-
like to them?
I don't think so.
No, surely not.
No, mate.
Mate. Fucking hell, I don't sound like that.
Essie and Sack. Ooh.
But also, like, it's when you hear somebody and you go like,
Tubular boobs.
but it's like, you go like, okay, well, I recognise that accent. You're a Scouser, or you're a Geordie, or a Brummie, and I can go like, okay, you're from all these. I know where you're from, and then you just hear these like, it'll be like some American show, and they've got like this one British guy on it or something like that, and he's not even like posh British. He's just kind of like.
Yeah.
So pronounced British.
Frasier is arguably the worst culprit.
Oh, it's awful.
Because there's one guy, it's like Daphne's ex-boyfriend turns up one week. And he's like, hello, Daphne.
Daphne.
Oh, and he's clearly American, the guy. And it's just like, hello, Daphne. I cannot believe you left me in Birmingham that time, and I have flown all the way here to America to find you.
Where was my favourite accent I've ever heard in my life?
That was not that far off what it was like.
Yeah. Where was Daphne meant to be from?
Manchester.
But the actress, what's her name? Jane Leeves is from Surrey.
Sorry.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so I think a lot of my...
Interesting, isn't it?
Hey, it's great, yeah.
Good bit of knowledge for you.
Yeah, it's wonderful, yeah. I feel a lot of my issues with Downton Abbey, and it's like, come from the man behind it all.
Oh.
Julian Fellows.
Oh. I mean, that's a very Middle England name.
Yes.
So before we get too deep into Julian Fellows' business, is Downton Abbey... Because, like...
I feel like our voices are naturally getting posher.
You know Downton Abbey, right? Now, is that based on a classic novel?
That chap, Julian Fellows. Tell me about him,
He's got a very British name, Julian Fellows.
Yes,
I'm Julian Fellows.
You'd know... It's just my regular voice. It's just how I sound. You'd know...
This is going to shit. Yeah, talking about this guy.
You would know him if you saw him. He's a presence on British television.
Oh, well, I don't watch British.
I
try not to.
Well, no, he's been doing this a while.
Yeah.
Let me look him up and I'll see if he's...
Seen it.
But
he
he's done this before.
But is he? What I'm asking is he writing new stories?
Yes, it's completely new.
So it's not like a Jane Eyre adaptation.
As I understand it, no. It's all.
Charlotte Bronte,
he is a writer. He's done a lot of books.
Oh, I
TV.
kind of recognise him.
Show me.
Show me.
Show me.
Show me the face.
Kind
yes, I have seen him before.
Yes,
yeah.
And he's basically like the quintessential British toff.
Yes,
you know, and he writes a load of books. But he did Downton Abbey is his big success story,
right?
But he also did Gosford Park.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a movie. I think it's like 2000 or so. It came out.
Gosford Park,
and it's basically like a prototype of Downton Abbey.
Okay.
It's basically like it's just
proof of concept.
Yeah, and they're always the same. It's always like it is a big country estate, owned by, and I don't know what the year is. It's after the First World War or after the Second World War. I'm not sure, but it's
1953.
1953.
We use Dickety because the Kaiser had stolen our word for 3.
But it's always like change is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Change is on the Hawaii.
Change is coming.
Change is constantly coming, isn't it?
Well, indeed.
If you think about it.
Well, indeed. Before the aristocracy. They know the writings on the wall, so they know they know the.
I feel for them.
Was it on Twitter or something?
It was written on the back of a surf.
Yeah,
that's how they found out about it. But it's
change is coming. Oh shit!
But it's
get ready, lads.
But as I understand it, the plot of Downton Abbey is basically like they need money because the estate is really expensive to run.
That's the funny.
How many series have they spent on that?
74. I don't know. But the gimmick is something
just
to do like
we need money, and now we're going to treat the servants.
But then there's comings and goings, isn't there?
And
like the Duke's wagon
boy.
But it's here.
It's always something.
I love that guy.
But it's always something like Marjorie can't inherit the estate because she's a woman. She's a woman, so but the firstborn doesn't have a wife, so he has to marry an American woman, which is scandalous.
Sure.
But she's wealthy.
But she's come over in a biplane.
She's Amelia Earhart,
She went missing in the Bermuda Triangle.
So it's always kind of stuff. And Julian Fellows clearly has a massive hard-on for this period of British history.
He actually looks a bit like the guy on the cards.
He does look like Harold.
A little, doesn't
yes.
he? Look like Harold.
So he's very much like this is the golden era of Britain, and sadly change was on the horizon.
It is quite sad,
and it could not last.
Ever since the cassette players were invented, it's just ruined it all.
Well, ever since the beef boxes came in,
and okay, but this is what he's selling, and
you're right.
Internationally, people love it. America loves it. In fact, the UK loves it.
Do you think that's just because that's what they think we're like?
Why
is that?
I think they think that's what we were like.
Yeah.
And to some extent,
maybe we were.
It is what we were like.
Yeah.
But it's what the rich people were like.
Yeah.
I mean, most of us were like, picking shit out of our teeth and living in a mud hill.
This is entirely the crux of my point, though, because we can all look back at, and believe me, I can look back at it and go like, gosh, what a great legacy of our country. You can go like, it was so grand, all these big mansions and everything, and stiff upper lip and everything. Yeah. But it's also like, no. What we are looking at, what Downton Abbey is what like 1% of 1% of potentially 1% of the population were living like.
Yeah.
And it's like, the Marquis or whatever who has like 900 servants.
Yeah.
Who are all just serfs. And it's like,
I get bored, wouldn't you?
Well,
if I had that many servants, I get bored.
But it's like
someone to bring me my teaspoons.
The crux of the show, the narrative of the show, and its ilk, and Gosford Park, and all this kind of crap, because there's tons of it. British television loves it. Is that they will acknowledge that the working class, the people in service, have problems. There'll be like a B plot, like
there always is.
I see.
A plot is like Duncan, the Duchess's son.
Yeah.
You know, has a horse at Cheltenham. You know,
his horse is limp.
And maybe he drinks a little too much brandy.
But there's always that forbidden love story of Eleanor, who's like kissing one of the servant boys in the wine cellar or something, and it's just like, okay,
this sounds wild.
Yeah,
this show.
We could write one of these as well. To be honest.
Or it's like a B plot, like Sarah, the scullery girl, is in a to do. You know,
Ray's a Welsh dresser.
Ray's bogs, cards, and period dramas.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's like
there we go.
And that's so they will acknowledge that regular people exist and have problems.
But they're not as important.
But nobody ever addresses the overarching, incredibly one-sided social structure that puts them in that role.
Yeah, that's so true.
So it'll be like, you know, like, I don't know, Duncan's like, you know, eating a gammon or something like that. And this woman's just like, you know, sweeping the floor and goes, "Oh, Sarah, you know, we're so different, but we both have problems, you know."
The fat hasn't rendered on my gammon. Whereas
also,
Sarah's legs hanging off.
Yeah, Sarah's got a heart of gold, and Sarah's like, "Oh, master, you know, I do my best, but you're right. You know, you've got it tough as well." It's like, no, Sarah, rise up.
Yeah,
rise up, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah's
there's more of you.
Sarah's leg looks like a gammon. That's the problem.
Very similar situation.
Yeah, he's like, you know, my proposal for becoming vice chair of the Bullingdon Club was cruelly rejected by Carruthers in his open letter. And she goes, "I've got rickets.
I've got rickets and no access to any writing implements.
I've got massive vitamin deficiencies, my lord."
"Oh, please leave, Sarah. You're boring me. I can't walk no faster, my lord.
I can smell your diabetes from over here.
I must look pensively from the window, Eleanor."
Yes.
Be on your way now. I've had enough of your problems.
Eleanor, kneel. I wish to rest a boot upon your spine."
"Oh, of course, master. I'll be on it."
"Oh, thank you, my
lord.
lord.
Thank you."
So my point is, they will acknowledge that poor people have problems, but they will never, ever, ever address the fact that they are servants.
Yeah.
That
That's so
they
true.
live to serve.
The story is always told as though they're very, very happy servants.
Yes.
Because
weird,
if
isn't
you
it?
spin it that way, then you're not like being mean to anyone. You're not hurting anyone. You're not like treating anyone badly.
Yeah.
Because they're
I've
they're
done a
happy.
sneeze. I'm
They're
so
all really
sorry.
happy servants.
If you had been a servant, you would be taken out back and
Well, I don't get
worked
paid
now.
for this fucking show, do I?
So basically, you are.
I'm like one of them off Downton Abbey.
You're like
I'm like
one
one
of
of
those
them.
little
I'm
servants.
like one of them.
Arguably, you're worse off.
One of those.
My leg's like a gammon as well.
You're like the Duke's wagon boy.
Yeah.
You're
Very
our
s-
little wagon
It's a
boy.
very similar situation. We should like document this. You make it a TV show.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like the plucky underdog, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
They'd be like, "That's the guy who doesn't get paid."
And I'd want to smooch you in the scullery.
Yeah. What's a scullery?
I honestly don't know what a scullery is. What is it? Do you know what a scullery is? Is it like a larder?
Oh, of course I know what a scullery is.
Of course, yeah. We've all got one.
I feel there would be,
Everyone in Britain's got a
I
scullery.
feel there would be things hanging on a wall.
Is it like where you'd hang your pheasants after you shot them? Because you know that's a crazy
Where do
thing.
you hang your pheasants?
Rich people do this. They shoot a pheasant, right, and then they
Yeah.
just hang it up in a shed for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Imagine having
I'm
a
so
room.
sorry.
Imagine having a room
I'm gesticulating wildly.
for hanging your pheasants.
But why don't they rot?
A room.
Gotta hang your pheasants somewhere, haven't you?
I've not got a fridge for that.
Well, no, you just hang them in Sarah's room, the scullery.
Yeah.
Maid, you know? She could.
But
deal
they
with
live
it.
underground and it's like warm and
Like
horrible
mole
down
people.
there. You don't want to go down there.
No.
I wouldn't go down there.
I can't imagine a scullery would be cold.
Is it named?
I was
Because of skulls.
Well,
It's where you keep your skulls.
that's the obvious
It's probably like
place to go.
it's,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a pantry, would it?
But you have a
No.
there's a scullery maid. That's a thing, isn't it?
There's always a maid in a scullery.
I'm gonna
So
look
what
it
is
up.
what does the scullery maid
You
do?
talk amongst yourselves.
reckon it's where you keep spoons and like cooking implements.
I don't even know how you spell it.
There
we go.
Yeah, always got it.
Like a skull.
A small kitchen or room at the
Just
back of a
kitchen.
house
There you
used
go.
for washing dishes and other dirty household work.
Okay.
Oh,
Right. So it's
that's-
the place where the dirty parts of the kitchen stuff
yeah.
go.
Like
Yeah.
the maid.
Like the maid, the
Yeah.
scullery maid
Yeah.
is kept there.
Anyway, so my point is, be it Downton Abbey, Gosford Park, The Crown.
Yeah, that's another one of those. Although at least the crown has some relevance.
I mean, the royal family have so many problems. It turns out from The Crown, a lot of problems.
They're really struggling.
Yeah, and
Anne can't get another badger for a collection or something.
Do you reckon the Queen now watches The Crown and she's looking at the bits where like Philip's cheating on her and it's like, it's the Suez Crisis, and she's like, God, I'm so nostalgic. Things are fucking awful right now.
Yeah, imagine being nostalgic for that. That's fun, isn't it?
It is funny in like season 3 or 2 where like you've got the little when they have a couple more kids and when they have was it Andrew and the other one, the boring
the
one.
other royal.
Honestly, don't know.
Yeah, there's another
Charles and
Andrew. You know him.
And
Sweaty boy.
yeah.
The Marquis.
And the other one. There's another one.
Cliff.
Martin.
Prince Cliff. Yeah, Cliff Richard is one of the.
Has she got 2 daughters?
No.
3 sons.
Yeah, and one daughter.
And one daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Because it's like they.
Well, it starts with the prince.
God, what's his name?
Prince Logan.
Logan.
Yeah. Is it that?
Logan Paul.
Yeah, Prince Logan Paul. Yeah.
But my point is like, it's like in the first season.
Dave.
In the first season, they have
Prince Dave.
In the first season, we have 2 kids. We've got Charles and Anne. And then they don't have kids for like 10 years, and then they have like 2 additional kids. So in season 3, it's like there's 2 little blonde kids running around. I'm like, oh, one of those is the alleged criminal.
Oh, and look, he's not sweating. Isn't that weird? He's been running around all day long playing Tig with his sister, and he's not sweating at all.
Royal people don't sweat.
A lot of people don't
I think
sweat.
that's well known. In fact, Edward, by the way.
Edward.
Yeah.
It's close to Dave, wasn't it?
Well, it's got letters in it, I guess.
Quite close, yeah.
I think Edward wakes up every day and just like, thank God, I'm not him.
Thank God I'm the non-memorable child.
Is that the best thing you could hope for, being a minor
definitely.
royal?
I think as
honestly
a royal,
think-
if you live your life quietly,
Most royals hope for this,
yeah, you'd live. What a great life that would be.
except for a notable few who have already made a nuisance of themselves.
Yeah.
All of the others, I think, just want a fucking quiet life.
I would. I'd just be like, just let me crack on. I'll live in a nice house.
Yeah.
Just whittle my days away.
Give me a
and I'll be fine.
300th of what you'd normally pay me, and I'll be fine with it.
Do you reckon that even the boring one, Edward, has I've almost forgot again. It just slips out of my head.
Already forgotten him.
Do you reckon that even he has like a security detail?
Yeah,
I bet he
does,
does.
Around his house at all times.
Yeah.
But do you reckon?
I mean, they aren't very good security guards. But
I remember ex-Prime Minister Edward Heath lived in Salisbury.
Good friend of yours.
Yes, very good friend.
Teddy.
This does nothing for our cause that British people are like that.
My
now.
good friend, Edward
My
Heath.
friend Edward Heath
Prime
used to say to
Minister.
me, Nicholas,
He used to
come
get-
over here.
Sit on my knee and I'll tell you a tale.
I'll tell you a tale of richness and poorness. And of course, I was the richness.
Yes, me, jolly good. No, my friend used to live in a cathedral close. Oh God, it's getting worse.
Live in
isn't
a
it?
cathedral.
It's getting worse. And we used to play outside Edward Heath's house. Well, one of the places we used to run about. And there were armed guards outside an ex-prime minister's house of like I don't know, 15 years ago at the time or whatever. So
And that's how you got shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, twice. But I mean, if he's still got a security detail, and who the fuck who cares about him? Who's trying to kill him?
Yeah, I'm struggling to remember.
Is he alive, Edward Heath?
Party?
I
Was
don't
in?
know.
I can't remember Edward.
Is he alive?
I don't think he is anymore.
Surely he can't be alive.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't think so. But yeah, so if he's got a security detail, Prince, what was his name again?
Dave.
Prince Dave.
Prince
Yeah,
Dave.
Ed Dave. Yeah,
Prince
yeah.
Ed Dave. He's got one definitely.
If you're in, say, like you
I'm playing in a cathedral.
Okay, say it's 10 years from now, Chris Ray.
Okay.
And
you are 10 years older.
You've just been.
Oh, God.
You've just been elected.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't work like that. But your party has just won a landslide victory in the general election.
Because of your backwind toilet. Chocolate pie.
Because it all started there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Circling the pan.
Chris Ray.
Chris Ray 2034. Yeah.
Ray's box cards and period dramas.
Your tagline is a ray of light.
Yeah.
And it's like, or ray of hope, maybe.
Well, you can be my campaign manager.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
God.
can draw like funny guys with penises.
Yeah, little peens hanging
Little
out.
peens.
And so you've just won a general election. and your party has elected you as Prime Minister.
Nice one.
Hilarious.
So you sit down at the desk of Cyber number 10. It's your first day on the job.
What, like on Zoom?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Probably.
And the
yeah.
phone
Doesn't exist
and
anymore.
the phone rings.
Oh, what's a phone?
Zoom rings.
Zoom rings.
Yeah. Future Zoom rings.
Future, yeah. Okay.
Your brain implant rings.
And oh my god, it's the Secret Service.
Oh my god.
And they're like, a royal has been kidnapped.
Oh, for fuck's sake! It's my first day.
First day, it's gonna happen. Okay.
It's gonna happen.
And you're like,
it's gonna be one of us.
oh my god, is it the Queen? Because she's still alive. You know.
In 10
Not
years.
at all.
Yeah, and they're like,
Good work. Could be.
and they're like, no, it's not the Queen. You're like, oh, thank God.
Oh,
Is
That
it?
is good news.
Is it Charles? And you're like, no, it's not Charles. Oh, thank God. Anne? No.
No, she's dead.
Okay.
Are we talking one of the minor royals?
Yeah, and they're like,
Like,
is it Andrew? Well, it can't be Andrew because he's in prison.
He's in jail. Yeah.
He's in prison. Yeah.
Not quite though.
everyone knows where he is.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, thank God. I was just about to get the ransom money out.
Yeah.
It's Edward. And you're like, ooh.
How much do they want? 50 quid.
They haven't actually said yet.
Yeah. The thing is, Edward has lived a nice life
Out of the spotlight.
in probably the next 10 years that we're talking about. He probably lived all right.
He's probably doing whatever.
I
he currently
probably
does.
put it on the in tray and say, right, we'll
get round
to
it.
that.
I mean,
We'll
it would be
get to that, yeah.
it would be a priority.
It would be a priority, not the
among
priority.
other priorities.
Yeah,
So
it would go on on the board. Let's say.
Yeah, maybe.
The defining feature of your like say 10 years in power
Yeah.
is that you
At
brought
least.
in universal basic income.
Yeah.
GDP is never been higher.
Nice.
Climate change has been fixed.
There's
Fix that.
free education for all.
Yeah.
Climate change is actually going too well in the other direction.
Yeah, it's
actually.
cold,
Yeah,
actually.
it's
If
getting
anything,
cold,
in the world, it's becoming perfectly smooth.
and for every day you've been in power, Prince Edward has been held prisoner.
Yeah.
by Alex.
No, but after a few years of Edward still being held hostage and you not doing anything about it, you'd start to think, well, he might be my lucky charm, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I should keep it in there.
Keep him there.
The moment
I'm
he
the one
was-
who's holding him hostage.
the moment
What
he
a twist that would be.
Basically you, yeah.
What the twist that would be.
Oh,
And
okay.
everyone just loves everything else I've done. And I'm like, well, we tried with the Edward thing.
And every now and then a keen journalist would be like, oh, Mr. Ray, Mr. Prime Minister, what are you going to do about Prince Edward? And you're like, who?
And then I'll have that journalist killed.
Who?
Yeah.
You go, who? Oh, I mean,
Sorry,
we're very...
great work, great work.
Yeah.
Love everything you're
Yeah.
doing.
And he's like, Mr. Prime Minister, what about Prince?
that one.
Oh,
What's
I've
his
got no
name?
Prince.
Not the criminal, the other one.
Yeah.
Not the one who can't swear. Oh, what is it? Oh,
Yeah, that one.
yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, it would. I'd get round to it.
You definitely get around
I'd
to
get
it.
round
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, certainly.
When you've done everything.
Almost certainly.
It's important that you always have some goals yet to deliver. You
That's
can
the thing.
hold that over the
Well, otherwise,
voting.
how am I supposed to point to any achievements?
Because
I
if
don't,
public favour starts
Yeah.
to drop, if the polls start to
then
fall,
I'll free him. Yeah,
you just free him then.
free him then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes, "Wow, you've saved Prince."
Prince,
Uh,
I've got it's on the tip of my.
yeah,
Ooh.
one of them. One of the princes is
So
free.
you saved the prince.
Yeah, the
Hooray!
prince.
And you
The
try-
prince is fine.
And you try to have some big press conference to show that he's safe, and then you lose him. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Wouldn't
Who
it
was,
be-
who was watching him? Was that like you?
Wouldn't it be good if it turned out he never existed? 10 years now, he's freed, and then everyone's like, "But he never existed." And I was like,
You're suggesting that Prince Edward is a clerical error.
Yeah.
There's never been.
"Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just a mark in a column that was an accident.
Yeah.
It's like a smudge.
No one wants 4 kids,
No.
do they?
No one would do that. To
No one can afford that.
Is-
Not even the Queen.
Is Prince Edward an elaborate ruse cooked up so that Andrew had a kind of get out of literally a get out of jail
like a
free
replacement
cut.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Or he's like a tax break. Maybe if you have, maybe I feel like a fake.
Do you get
prince.
more money if you have 4 kids?
Well, they probably get a salary per member of the royal family from the British public.
Yeah.
So if you can just create another royal,
Plus, also there's all the social benefits you get as like child support and stuff.
Yeah.
So she'll probably get those.
probably get a house.
Well, you probably if the Queen went and signed on,
Yeah.
and she get the extra benefit
Queen
from an extra
signed
kid.
on?
Yeah.
Just down to the job centre.
Yeah, I don't like Downton Abbey.
No, me neither. I've never watched it though. There's a new movie coming out though.
Oh, for
Really?
fuck's
Yeah, this
sake.
year.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a trailer. Well, I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw it.
I was
come
going to stop talking about it, but are there any stories left to tell?
I mean, I don't think there are. No,
Have they reached for present day?
but I don't think there were from like
it's now.
half. Yeah,
It's just like last week.
but they're going to start going into the future. 20XD5.
Downton Abbey cubed.
The wall went up and the cyber cannons have activated.
Downton Abbey resurgence. Anyway, what's your 8?
Jaeger.
Jägermeister.
Jägermeister.
The drink Jägermeister.
I thought I'd carry on the traditional English theme by just saying Jaeger in a Cockney accent. No, Jägermeister though.
Jaeger.
Yeah, big time.
Why?
You
Why?
know.
I know why,
You
but
know.
why now?
It
You know
brings
what?
out the worst
Why
Ray.
now is
Why
a
now?
good question,
Okay,
John.
okay.
I thought episode 101, and also partly because I couldn't think of anything else. So I went with what I've been storing up for quite a while, which is Jägermeister.
Okay.
Everyone has that drink that they just can't drink, and you sound like a twat when you say it to people, but it's true. It's true in this case.
So what you think saying liking Jaeger makes you sound like a twat?
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. It's that I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Every time I drink it, I immediately throw up.
Hurl.
I'm not exaggerating. John and I.
But you still like it.
So you
I like the taste.
You
Fine.
like it, but
it's
it
not
makes you
that
throw up.
it's not that I dislike the taste at all. It's just that there's something about it, and I think it emanates from
That
one night.
that one
John and
night.
I shared a bottle of Jaeger.
That was like
We had five beers.
8 or 9, I
Yeah.
want to say.
We had 5 beers, and then we said, "Should we crack open the
It
Jaeger?"
was a Friday night.
Yeah.
And
Delightful.
this is at a time when I still work Saturdays.
Oh.
You had to call in sick.
And,
yeah.
well, it was a period in our lives where we were both living at home.
With the old
because we
parentals.
had nothing else going on in our lives. Pretty much every night, you'd come over to my family house, raid the beer cabinet.
Yeah. I owe your parents a lot.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
And we would just sit and drink.
Yeah, pretty much.
And here we
But
are.
then that one night we just drank a bottle of Jaeger, and it is genuinely.
Did you mix it with anything?
No.
We had the beers. Well,
well,
no, we drank Jaeger
we'd
straight,
we'd each had like 5 cans
Okay.
of beer, which is a pretty good night.
your family beer.
That's
Family
just
beer.
Family, yeah.
And
the
then-
Lock beers.
The Lock family
and
beer.
then I was like,
Let's have some Jaeger.
"Oh, have you heard of this Jägermeister?"
Yeah.
I think I
probably
don't
had.
think you had.
I don't
actually,
remember.
No. And I vividly remember we had the Gavin and Stacey DVD.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
but we
hell,
weren't
yeah.
watching episodes.
We just
It-
had the theme tune on repeat for 4
It
hours.
was just the title screen looping.
So you weren't paying attention to it, and as a
Yeah.
result, it was just looping the title.
Yeah,
screen.
Yeah.
and it plays like a 20-second loop of the song, and
just the motif.
but
of
at
the
like
song.
11 p.m. after like 5 beers, I was like, "Do you want to try a Jägermeister?"
Yeah. And I did at the time.
And the DVD's still looping at this
Yeah,
point.
and so I went and got the bottle, and we were like, "No need to dirty a glass." So we had like our pint glasses already on the go, so we sloshed some Jägermeister in,
Big time.
and I vividly remember you taking a sip and going, "Oh, that's a touch." That
it is the day after that was genuinely the worst hangover I've ever had.
it's
Genuinely.
up there. It's up there. Like,
And
Was
then-
it the Lock family Jägermeister?
yes.
Oh,
and you
big
drank it
Yeah,
all?
we had it all. The vast
There
majority
may be
of,
some left.
yeah.
It wasn't coming out in shot glasses, shall we say?
Okay.
It was going into pint glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drank a lot of it, and yeah. So now every time someone goes, "Oh, so I go to football a lot," I may have mentioned it.
No.
Oh, I go to football a lot.
Oh.
And there's quite a lot of Jaeger goes around at those.
Really?
events. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What,
yeah,
like
yeah,
hip flasks?
More like you've heard of Jaeger bombs, presumably.
I love a Jaeger bomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mix it with Red
You
Bull.
surprised me.
Yeah. I used to have them a lot.
Yeah.
That was like my second drink at uni was like.
Huh.
Yeah, you mix
I
it with Red Bull.
love Jägermeister. Like I really like
or
it.
as shots or whatever at football. And I've said repeatedly, because of subsequently at university, after I'd had it with you quite a lot, every time I had one, I just spewed immediately. It doesn't matter if it was my first drink or my 10th drink or my 20th drink, whatever.
But you could use that to your advantage.
In what
Because
respect?
sometimes you need to purge. Sometimes
Sure.
one needs to purge.
But it's
especially on a
involuntary,
drinking-
unless I happen to be like next to the toilet.
Yeah, but that's what
which
I
is
mean.
part of my plan for the whole back
for the new toilet.
thing. Then I can drink Jaeger.
But
That'll be
imagine
fine.
you've got a bit out of hand on a night out,
Yeah.
or a stag do or something. You're too drunk, too early. I need to purge.
I've never been in that situation.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Quick Jaeger at the toilet. Blah,
Yeah.
purge it. Carry on.
That
Crack
would
the
be
fuck
fine.
on.
Oh, that would be fine.
Yeah.
As somebody who's cleaned up after him on several occasions.
Well, this is why I'm trying to
I
say
don't think you've never really needed the Jägermeister.
No,
well,
that's
this
true.
is why I'm trying to control
that's the only
outfall.
That's the only catalyst like that I can identify in terms of it happens every time I drink it.
So why? So I can, because I don't like Malibu. Right.
Okay.
Interesting.
I drank too much Malibu when I was younger.
Sure.
I didn't really even like it then. And now, if I even smell it, I can.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. That was such a first year of uni. I never liked it, but it was always at like a house party.
Yeah, it was a massive.
Somebody
house party
bought
drink.
like a bottle of
Yeah.
Malibu. Oh,
And
horrible.
That will make me hurl probably. If I was to, I haven't had a Malibu in years, but if I had one now, I reckon I would probably. I'd make it to the toilet, but I would probably want to.
There you go. Then it's
but,
exactly the same
But I don't
thing.
like it. But you like Jägermeister.
It's not that I like love it or anything. It's that it's fine. It's not that I don't like the taste.
Right.
It's fine. It just makes me throw up.
I don't think I've touched Jägermeister since
No,
that
the
fateful
event.
But
night,
I had it
yeah.
a couple of times. Like you know how people just go, "Oh, you can't go." I can't drink that. I can't drink that. And everyone
everyone's
just goes,
got
"Oh,
a
have one. Oh, what are you? A wuss?
What are you, a shit?
Whatever." And I'm
are
like,
you, a
all right,
hound?
I'll have one then. And every time I've just gone directly to the toilet.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Goodbye.
The worst one was when I was on a train.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Are you sure we haven't talked about
We
this
may
on
have
a
touched on
podcast?
this before.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Briefly.
train incident.
The
I
train
think we
incident
might have
when-
talked about.
I was at football. I was on my way back from Scunthorpe versus Gillingham.
You remember?
God, what a day.
I remember.
Can
It
you
was just
imagine?
What a
before
match.
Christmas, and we won. That was a rarity.
So there you go.
A complete stranger, and you should always take stuff from strangers.
Oh well.
Just
yeah,
put a
I've got
bottle of
story
Jaeger
about
on our table on the train and went, there you go, lads. Congratulations on your win. It was great.
that. Was he a Scunthorpe fan? Or?
Don't know. Never saw him again. He might not have existed.
Was it like you look back and he was gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a hole his shape
Like there
in
was
the
just
wall.
like a gust, and there just nothing happened. Anyway, he gave us that, and
That's a
people
weird
started drinking it.
thing to
It
do.
was
Was the
kind of
label-
weird, and we probably should have questioned it.
Was
Yeah.
the label kind of like hand drawn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
even completely sure it was a Jaeger
Was the
bottle.
seal broken?
His head
It was just a black. Yeah, it was just a black liquid.
Jagger blister.
And then eventually we played some drinking games as you do, and
As you
I
do.
lost, and I was like, I'm going to throw up.
I'll
Just
do
be
it.
prepared for what's going to happen.
This is on a
This is-
public
It's
train.
on a public train.
You can
Yeah.
blame others for it.
and I had-
This is your fault.
And I was peer pressured. I was tricked into taking the shot, and I did the shot, and immediately went on the train.
So you didn't make it to a toilet.
No.
Oh, Boise.
That was the worst. And that's the last time I've had it, and it's the last time I will ever have it.
Fair.
For that reason.
Fair.
It was all, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was just, but everyone's got that one drink, and I just thought I would never get there to the stage where I was the guy who said, "Oh, I can't drink that." And
You
here
thought
I
you
am.
wouldn't?
I thought I wouldn't. I never thought I would until Jägermeister
What's-
came along. And
what's-
it's not that it's even a particularly bad taste, or like even objectively, it's not a particularly bad taste. It's just that it's
quite a
It's
striking.
got a hold on me.
It's medicinal.
Yeah,
It
that's
tastes
what it
very
is.
medicinal.
Yeah.
You can't really mistake it for anything
No.
else,
It's
which
quite
is
But I don't know if it's a psychological thing or a.
It might be at this point. If you don't hate it, if the
Yeah.
smell or taste of it doesn't revolt you like Malibu does for me,
Yeah.
then it must be a psychological connection you've got with
I
it.
would drink it if I could, but it's embarrassing now because I have to go on football days and say, "Oh, I won't have a Jägermeister."
And you take milk
Although
instead.
to be fair, they have seen what happens when I do. I have Skittle bombs now,
Ah, okay.
which is
What?
Contro and Red Bull.
Ah.
But that's slightly embarrassing,
Does
isn't
it taste like Skittles?
a little?
Right.
Yeah, it's
I
yeah,
had Skittle vodka once. That was cool.
yeah.
oh
Skittles floating in vodka.
yeah.
Yeah, it does taste a little like Skittles.
Well,
But that's fine. I can drink that, and that's fine. That's not a problem. But it's slightly embarrassing when all my peers are drinking Jaeger, and I'm there with the little
carton of
the little
milk.
sweet tasting one.
Oh, a little milk.
Oh, I could only take the little one.
I've got a Capri Sun.
It's a bit
do you-
embarrassing, isn't
do
it?
you? I don't think this paints a very good picture of peer pressure.
Good.
I feel I have to say it. I feel I should just say that maybe you're right to turn down Jägermeister.
I am.
You are in
I
charge
definitely
of
am.
your life.
But I hate that my experience with it has put me in that position.
No.
It's weird that I think
Now everyone, to be honest, everyone having seen what happened on that train accepts the fact that I can't do it. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
well,
fair enough.
Yeah, I
yeah.
say you say seen, but probably also like felt.
smell.
Yeah, tasted.
Yeah.
oh no, splashback.
Stood
but it's
in.
like we all, like you say, we all have a drink that we don't
Yeah.
have anymore. Malibu never comes up. No one's ever
No-
pressuring me to
yeah,
drink Malibu.
No one's drinking Malibu anymore.
Nobody cares
No.
about Malibu. I'm amazed if you can even buy it. Honestly, don't know.
Where do
But
you stand on other coconut-based things?
it would probably trigger me in the same way
Wouldn't
because
it?
it would
Yeah.
remind
Like
me of
a
Malibu.
Bounty.
Wasn't Malibu like generally like certainly at university it was like peach flavored
Coconut rum.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
wasn't it like?
Yeah.
There might have been a peach version.
Yeah, I
don't
just
know.
seem to remember like
Oh,
there
you're
was always
thinking
a
of
girl at a
schnapps.
party
There's a
would
schnapps.
bring.
You're thinking of schnapps.
Well, no, I'm definitely thinking of Malibu,
Okay,
but
okay.
like it's
They're
very
probably
sickly
what-
sweet.
There
like
might have been a
yeah.
different variation on Malibu. Yeah.
Yeah, the classic coconut rum one was the one I
I could go for a Malibu about now.
Oh, no.
Actually, no,
Nah.
I quite
You
like
know
it.
me, I like my biscuits brown and dry.
and your alcohol.
Sure.
And
My
my
alcohol
coffee
plain.
black and my whiskey, my whiskey.
What's
you know,
your
I-
drink, John, that you can't have?
Well,
I think Jaeger would be up there, yeah.
Jägermeister's pretty up there, to be honest, after the incident. I'm trying to think. I used to think it was tequila.
Oh, sure.
I hadn't really had tequila since my university days, and then back in August, I went to visit our mutual friend Owen down in Bristol, and at 12 p.m. on a very hot day, we walked into a bar, and the guy said, "You're my first customers. Would you like a tequila?" And I was like, well, it'd be rude not to. And
It would be.
I had a tequila slammer, and it was very invigorating. It was.
I quite like tequila.
And I think I've come around to it again. I was like, oh, it's nice actually. Yeah.
But yeah, there's not much else. Aftershocks, for kids more so. That's the reason I wouldn't have an aftershock.
Funny you bring up aftershock. Do they still make aftershock?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was such a first year of university drink.
Let's have an aftershock.
Very house party, shots. Like you play Ring of Fire or whatever, and that would be going into the bitch in the middle.
I feel like I could handle one of those just fine now. But
yeah, well, there's probably
I don't think I'd go
alcohol
out.
in it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go out my way to have one.
It'd
Whereas
always be-
Jaeger is just forget it.
It'd always be like that apple
Oh, like Cactus Jacks,
Apple
apple
sours.
sours.
apple
Yeah.
sours.
That was
yeah.
just like squash. I could drink a
it
bottle
was
of
barely
It was
there.
so
yeah.
sweet though. You'd get so sticky. I felt like a
Yeah.
little boy at playgroup.
that. Yeah.
You know,
Oh, everything's tacky.
everything's
yeah.
sticky.
It
Yeah.
was so funny, like the shit you'd put into your body at that age. Like I remember going to visit Chris Ray at university.
Yeah.
And at the bar, they were giving out like a pre-poured shot in a plastic shot
Yeah.
glass with a sealed top. You know,
Oh,
you just
yeah,
peel
yeah.
the top
Oh
off.
yeah.
And it was half red, half white.
Oh,
it was meant
what
to be
were they
like,
called?
Like a Campino.
Well, that makes it sound classy. No,
It's
it's,
come- it's
two
come-
chambers.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a plastic.
This is just
like a nose septum,
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
a septum.
It was like twisted, so it looked like a sweet almost.
Yeah,
like a Campino.
So it was
Yeah.
meant to be like it was meant to be. Stop saying Campino.
Like a
yeah.
Campino.
What is
Yeah.
a Campino?
It's coming.
it's a red and white twisted.
It's a
boiled
hard-boiled-
sweet, just like strawberry and cream.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a
it's like
Campino.
always like a
It's
Campino.
like that,
It's like a
yeah.
Campino.
Yeah, it's like a Campino.
It's like a Campino.
a bit like a Campino.
It's a bit like a Campino.
Yeah, I probably hadn't thought about that in about 10 years till you just brought it up, but now
Yeah.
it's flying back into my head. Yeah,
I also know. I think you disappeared on that night.
probably
Yeah.
had a Jaeger.
In line with, I've just thought of something, but in line with this this septumed cup that you're talking about, have you heard about the Crunch Cup?
No.
Ali came home super excited and told me about the Crunch Cup, which is a way for you to take cereal on the go, right? And your cereal,
about time, isn't
yeah,
it?
and your cereal doesn't get moist, right? Because the way it works, kind of like the septum principle, it's a cup and it's got like an inner cup, right?
Okay.
And then the inner cup you put your cereal in dry, and then the outer around the cereal you put your milk, right? But then they meet at the top in a sort of spout which you can seal off. And then when you you take a drink like that, and the dry cereal and milk combine in your mouth, it's
Good
like ooh, a
God.
bit of cereal, but everything else just drops back as separate again, back
am
into the cup.
Really struggling to visualize
Crunch
this
cup,
bizarre
crunch
thing.
cup. So it's like imagine
So
a
what's
thermos,
the cup made of?
transparent plastic.
So you can see what's happening.
You can see, but when you fill it with milk, the milk obscures the inner center point, which is dry cereal. But when you put the cereal in first, you can see it inside a sort of chamber within a chamber, and then you can fill that outer chamber with milk, and then you take a sip, and you get milk and cereal, but they've been separate. So you can literally have it on your take, like you'd have a cup of tea, and you just take a swig every now and then, and your cereal's staying
How
dry.
big is this? Is this mouthpiece?
I think it's like a
a
thermos.
toilet roll.
I think it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, the mouthpiece itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess you'd have to get cereal
chunks
to
have
it.
got to go through it.
I haven't seen a crunch cup. I've
What's
just
the-
had it described to me.
What's
by
the
Alice.
biggest cereal you could put in that? Arguably.
Rice Krispies.
They're pretty small.
That's my point.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. You're
Yeah,
saying that's
I'm
the limit.
being facetious.
Yeah, yeah. You're very,
You couldn't. You couldn't
very
have.
facetious.
You couldn't have a granola cluster. Could
You could put a Weetabix in that.
No, you
Yeah,
can't
like
put
a whole
Weetabix in.
Weetabix or like a
Or shredded wheats
or
even.
a choco chunk.
I don't know how big the spout is. So
You grind
What
a
about
Weetabix
shreddies?
into a fine paste.
Powder.
Yeah.
This will surprise you. I don't like milk on cereal.
Gasp. You prefer
dry
bottle.
cereal, water.
I don't really eat cereal, but I never. Even when I did have cereal, I only had it dry.
I knew a guy who put water on cereal.
That's mad.
That's
It's wild.
Kind of a war crime.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think he's a psychopath.
That's
Was it your
totally
friend
mad.
Dave?
It wasn't Dave.
No. If I had to pick a friend of yours, I'd be like, yeah, it's probably Dave.
Yeah, it probably would be Dave. Yeah, but it wasn't Dave.
That
in his
sounds like,
defense.
the thing is, Dave's a rugged mountaineer.
Now, yeah.
Well, now.
Yeah.
But that sounds like something a rugged mountaineer type would do.
What, eat cereal with water?
Before he was
Yeah.
a mountaineer, he was a water cereal, wasn't he?
He'd break up a Kendall mint cake.
Yeah.
Pour water on it.
Sleep, because tanks are for losers. He'd sleep on the side of a mountain, and then in the morning...
Bivouac.
With the... No,
Sorry.
that's weak. And then when the collected dew on his kind of frozen body,
yes.
he just kind of like squeeze it onto a Weetabix and just kind of like chew it.
Yeah.
I figure that's how he'd do it.
That's some Bear Grylls shit, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is.
That
Yeah.
is some Bear Grylls
Squeeze
shit.
out an elephant shit onto
Yeah.
a Weetabix.
Big time.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't drink a drink enough that you end up not being able to drink it, is my advice.
Great advice.
To young people.
It might be too late already.
Have you ever done... Is there a food that you can't eat for that
That's a
same
good question,
reason?
John.
That's a great question.
That's a
yeah.
good question, isn't it? I don't think so.
No.
No food.
No.
I ate too many Werther's originals when I
there's-
was younger, and I don't like them now.
Oh,
There's
interesting,
foods
yeah.
I don't like, but there's no foods that make me...
I wouldn't throw up if I ate a Werther's original.
Is actually
Oh, here we go.
aubergine tends to give me the trots.
It's not quite.
Okay.
It's not quite the same. Is
No.
it?
Well, no,
It doesn't make
a
me sick. It doesn't make
biological
me sick.
reaction, though.
It doesn't make me sick.
When anything hits your you know your abdoms,
Tubular, yeah.
yeah, and I'm like
Tubular boobs.
that.
Tubular boobs.
Any decision past that point, that's,
involuntary.
you're no longer in
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
No, there's nothing that... No, I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. No, probably not. I don't like melon. Never like melon.
I like... Well, on my stag do, you obviously force-fed me melon.
Well, you forced it
As one of the
into
many
yourself.
activities we did.
You-
I felt so good after eating all that melon.
You didn't shut up about how
No,
good you felt.
I know.
About that melon.
I was pissed.
Well, you were. Yeah, yeah.
Given that we've mostly had a diet of pizza and meat up
Beige
until that
thing.
point,
I felt phenomenal.
yeah, I
after
can imagine
that.
eating a whole watermelon.
You ate
probably.
like
Felt like I
nearly
could run a
a
marathon.
kilo.
You ate 800 grams of watermelon.
Won the game, didn't I?
You won the game.
I won the game.
You ate it like a beast
Yeah.
would eat a carrion. You know.
Well, we got video footage of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it a minute? How long did you have?
I can't remember.
I think it was a minute. You had to
Yeah.
eat as much watermelon as you could in a minute. You smashed it on the ground, and then you ate it like a beast.
John criticised me for this at the time. John knew as soon as he put a watermelon in front of me that I was going to throw it on the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, I criticised you because I knew you were going to throw it on the ground. I put bin bags down.
Yeah.
And you instantly dragged the table out of the way, thus tearing most of the bin bags out.
You ate it out of gravel.
Yeah.
I did do that.
You probably ate 40% gravel.
And I loved how we had three contestants, and one ate, I think, about 300 grams.
Yeah.
One ate 500 grams. You ate 800
Yeah.
grams of watermelon, which
Smashed
is
it.
It was
phenomenal.
Yeah. And at the time, it didn't look like you were doing that much better than everyone else.
I was going to say chewing.
Well, it didn't look like you were chewing at all. No,
I just sort of swallowed.
you were like
No, I would eat a watermelon now very happily. Yeah,
right now.
lovely.
Well, at
Thank
least
you
let me
very
put-
much.
At least let me put a bin bag down. Well, who's got a love then? I guess it's your turn.
I've got a love.
Yeah, give us a love.
Woo!
It's a very wholesome love. I love being a part of a hobby,
Oh,
right? That I can join an official club for.
nice.
And I have two instances.
Are you
of
in
this.
some clubs?
Well, very recently. So the most poignant of them is we've been running. Three of us have been running lately, and we've been running park runs.
I'll just interrupt taking a swig of my beer to talk about how fit I've become. Yes.
And I wanna run a half marathon later in the year.
Woo!
Maybe you want to as well. You're considering it.
Chicka-chow.
You might.
Unlikely.
Okay, sure.
But he'll
Sure.
be there.
But we've all been running. Three of us have been
I'll be
running.
there drinking. Yes.
Yeah, and Ali as well. And parkrun is cool. Running is cool.
It's
Running
been
is
good.
fine. I've
It's
been
been
feeling much better. I've been feeling fitter. But being able to sign up to parkrun and make it weirdly sort of official. Like
Yeah.
you get like a barcode, the barcode gets scanned, then you appear on like a leaderboard online
Yeah.
and you get your time sent to you. For
That's
some
fun.
reason, that takes it from I'm doing a run every now and then to I'm like part
Like
of
an
something.
athlete.
I'm
like
doing a run.
I'm
a
doing
movement.
a run.
Don't you have
running.
like a wristband thing?
Yeah,
as well? I don't have one of those.
you can get like parkrun merch, and
Yeah.
and then you can, because it's connected to your account.
Sure.
When you buy it, your barcode
That's
goes on
good,
it,
isn't
which
it?
is, and that's all that money like helps keep parkrun
Yeah.
going. So it's like quite a cool way
clever.
of supporting it because they don't charge for it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels like that's my membership card, and I'm part of a club, and then I appear on a thing, and there's yours.
I printed my barcode out and put it on the back of my phone.
There you go.
you go.
See, it's like you have this official badge.
Sorry, Nick, I do care about what you're
No, you
saying.
don't. It's fine.
Is that laminated?
No, that's just a piece of paper that I've put inside my like
Phone case.
phone condom thing.
Gosh,
Phone dog.
Clever, eh?
that's very clever.
Yeah.
So there's something about it that elevates it, you know.
The camaraderie, the camaraderie is wonderful. Actually.
But the thing is, like, I could just show up at a park.
Sure.
And there could be some other runners there. And I could be like, hello. And they could be like, hello, you here for a run? I'd be like, yes. And that would be fine. And I would kind of feel like...
That'd be a little weird.
It would be a little weird, yeah.
Good day. Are you here for a run?
No. Fuck off.
Don't talk to me.
Get away from me.
But, like, it's a thing. It's a thing. And,
Yeah.
I signed up to the thing, and I'm part of the thing. And that feels good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of cool actually that we can all. Bully's the wrong word, but we can. The fact that we're all doing it, we can suffer together.
Suffer together.
in the cold. Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, is that it is pretty grim.
Yeah.
After that point of all of this positivity I've just said, running a 5K every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold has been hard.
However, this at the moment, weather-wise, is the hardest conditions we'll have.
Yes.
It's only
going to
uphill
get
from
better.
here.
Yeah. Of course, I'm terrified because for me, being a weak indoorsy type.
Sure.
Well,
April, May.
so am I.
April, May, that pollen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and also
Oh,
the
right.
heat as well.
Yeah.
Though. Running in the heat is going to
The heat will be bad. Yeah, the heat will be bad.
To be honest, we tend to only get 2 weeks.
I mean, the whole year is fucking awful, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, hay fever's going to hit you real bad.
Yeah, I hate being outside.
Yeah, maybe wear like a space helmet.
I don't get
might
hay
get some
fever
goggles,
because I'm pretty cool.
Well, I am too.
I'm like a cool guy.
We're both the bullies of the
Yeah.
podcast.
We'll just give him a noogie and just be on our way.
Yeah, if you can catch me
Well,
as I'm crying.
we might be able to catch you actually during the summer.
Yeah, that's true. And also, we could give you a swirly in Chris Ray's brand new toilet system that he's developing. So.
That'd be good. Yeah.
That'd be an honour.
Designed
actually,
specifically for bullying.
Yeah. This is
So,
the bully toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, I like what you've done with the aperture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No,
an
yeah, so
iris.
park run's been good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Well, I felt more peer pressure into going, as you said,
But I think also
which has
like,
helped.
by being part of it, there being a sort of club thing and having a barcode to scan and all of that, it makes it feel like, well, I've got to go do parkrun because I'm part of parkrun.
Yeah.
I've got to go do it. It makes you want to do more of it as well.
That reminds me, I can't come to parkrun this weekend. That's actually true.
I will be at parkrun.
Good.
I didn't do it last week because my back was hurting.
It was. You were in pain.
Quite a bit. I think I ran too well.
Well, you are the
previously.
fastest
You're
and
the
best
fastest.
performer out of all of us. So.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I know.
you needed it.
As I keep saying, you're only competing against yourself.
Well, I'm certainly not competing against you.
No,
Oh,
it's not
shit,
a
son.
close competition at the moment.
No.
No, it will be.
When I get back to my original time, John's in somewhat of a pickle.
But his time might improve as well.
I doubt that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
No, I've plateaued.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no need.
You've
to.
just stayed at your zenith the whole time.
But no, I agree. It's nice. It feels like a new year. It feels like a new.
It does.
We're doing things. We're getting out there. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah. Yeah, there you go. So that's mine. Being part of things officially. Yeah.
Bosh.
Well, weirdly, I've been trying to. I heard a really good piece of advice the other day.
Oh yeah.
Which was like you should start your work day by jotting down 2 things that you're grateful for.
Oh, well, at work.
Well, no, not at work.
generally.
Just
No,
in life
yeah.
general.
And it's interesting. The idea is to cultivate a more kind of gracious mindset. Gracious is the wrong word. A grateful, sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because then you can go like, actually, there are good things in the world, and we don't have to be miserable fucks all the time. But it's more, and it's interesting. And the advice was, don't be like Broad. Don't go like, I like the sun, or I.
Well, we've been doing this show for 4 years, so there's stuff we can draw on from that.
Yeah,
Arguably.
yeah. I'm saying,
As I say, I don't listen to this show.
We're
but-
way past being Broad. Like we did Broad for like 50 episodes,
Which
and
is-
then we're just
maybe
like,
less.
the guy who cuts my meat.
Yeah.
I
I like cutting my fingernails. I don't.
but
Now
no.
we're on to things like cutting a perfectly square hole, for example.
Well, indeed, yeah, no. But no, so I'm thinking of like very, very small things that I
Sure.
absolutely love.
Mm.
I love this one brand of Japanese coffee
Oh.
Oh.
that I can't remember what it's called. It's called like Yushimi or something like that.
Mm.
And it is, oh,
Lovely.
oh.
Oh, so your love isn't the being grateful thing.
No.
That was
No,
context.
that's garbage.
That's context. No.
I hate that.
Yeah.
You shut your ugly mouth. Yeah. No, my point is that in trying to be grateful for small things, I have come round to focusing on a very small thing, which is that
coffee.
I love coffee, and
do
this
love
is
coffee.
a really, really, really good coffee, and I bought some.
What's good about it?
It tastes good.
Okay, what does it taste like?
It
Don't
tastes
say
like
coffee. Don't say coffee.
Okay.
I know what coffee. Everyone knows what coffee tastes like.
It
John.
has a
Notes?
it has a rich. It has a certain depth to it. A sharpness on the palate, which is very very pleasant.
Okay.
It's the kind of coffee that begs you to pay attention.
No, nice.
You know, it's not a coffee you.
That
can...
was better than your first two comments, which were garbage.
Thank you. It's not a coffee you can ignore.
Okay.
And of course, I grind my
Even
own.
though you've forgotten the name of it.
Well, indeed, yeah. And also, I did read the packaging earlier, and despite being a Japanese coffee, it did say manufactured in Europe.
Sure,
so I
yeah.
am a little
Made in
intrigued
London,
as to how that
And
works.
it's a mild carcinogen, but other than that,
Yeah.
you know, it's fine.
But it's very good.
Okay.
And
For insulating walls.
indeed,
Yeah.
yes, and neutering horses. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Did you ever have that Norfolk coffee I gave you?
I think I did all of that. Yes,
Did you?
yeah.
How was that? Memorable, I'd imagine.
Very, I'm
it
sure.
wasn't bad.
It was all right.
It's all right. I think
It was a freebie from our honeymoon.
I've
so.
Oh, that's all right then.
I do worry that my palate,
Oh, here we go.
my coffee palate, has evolved to a point where I am kind of spoilt now. So
Yeah.
like I cannot appreciate what I would have appreciated maybe like 10 years
Sure.
hence.
You know when you come to my house when
Yeah.
we work and I give you that trash coffee that I find
Yeah.
at the back of a shelf, how does that go down?
That's great.
Yeah, cool, great.
Because
That's all I needed to hear.
I'm a man of
I just needed validation.
Yeah.
I'm a man of simple pleasures.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I like
plain biscuit.
I like cheap working class coffee that
Yeah.
the proletariat enjoy, like yourself. You
Yeah.
know, I
It's
like.
an unmarked
Stop
cylinder.
trying to insult us with big words,
No,
John.
no. I'm my with respect, my opponent here doesn't really understand the needs of the plebs, and I like a cheap regular coffee.
Sure.
When I'm done with my day shift. Cheering in the back. Yeah.
Is this the election in 10 years'
Yes,
time?
yeah. But
Just waiting for a reaction after everything you say.
So
Day
it's
shift.
it's you two competing to be prime minister.
Yeah.
And where am I in this picture?
You
Imagine, John, you and I are fighting to be prime minister, and I win.
I know,
There's
that's
no
fucking
coming
wrong.
back from that.
Yeah.
There is no coming back from that.
I'm running on a very populist platform.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it'll be like,
And it's falling apart around
yeah.
your ears.
My platform is basically like I'll have a cup of coffee with anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Anyone.
And I say I'll have a beer with anyone.
Oh.
People
Yeah,
like,
there
I
we
don't
go,
know.
yeah.
Not Jaeger, though.
That's why they like Nigel
And
Farage so much.
I'm like, but I'm there for you in the mornings, and you're like, but I'm there for you in the evening.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Hey, the crowd goes
Hey, lads. Emma just goes, lads.
It's really hard to schedule a debate.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Yeah. We tend to do it around lunchtime.
yeah.
Because that's the only time we're both awake.
At our convenience.
When you can have a coffee and a beer, legitimately.
But no, I like grinding my beans. I like brewing a good coffee, and this one is delightful.
Wonderful. That is
Great
good
stuff.
news.
Yeah, that is good news. Yeah.
I had a coffee at my barber a few weeks ago that honestly I could see through time. It was so strong. Like I like coffee just fine.
As much as the next guy.
Yeah, sure. But I've never had a coffee that's been like strong, you know, like fucking hell. It just blew me away.
Not to.
They might have had booze in it for all I know, but
Not
Had
to
a bit
make
of Jaeger in it.
Not to make
Yeah.
assumptions. Is your barber Turkish?
no.
Ah,
But thanks for putting that on air.
because a Turkish coffee is quite a thing.
Is it? No. Well, I'll give you the name. Bramwell's in Cheltenham.
Oh my.
Okay.
Which I've been going there for many years, and I've had coffees many times. But there was one time it just was like, whoa, fucking hell!
Wow.
Like it wasn't that there was any narcotics in it, but it was just
Could have
so
been.
strong.
Could have been.
Bloody hell! And I've never had a coffee affect me like that. It was really weird.
Interestingly, my hairdresser is Turkish.
Yes.
Shall I say his name?
Mikel.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good.
Free
I said-
advertising.
I just said, shall I say his name? And then John said it.
Well, I
So
said no.
So, well, you didn't
He
get
could have
to
just
No.
said. He could have just said yes,
He's-
didn't he? And then I
he-
could have said
it
his
would have been
name.
easy. Yes,
John
is a
decided.
shorter
John
word.
decided to steal my thunder by saying it himself.
Well, no, I feel
But
like
his barber.
I was about to say his name though. And
I
then
feel
John
if
said,
we were going to have this
I
massive.
said, John, should I say his
You
name?
did say that. No, that's
And
true.
then John just said it.
And then John said it instead of you saying
It
it.
wasn't the question I asked.
No.
Sorry, John.
Oh, it's all right. Thank you. Yeah.
This is
Well,
how I become
figured
Prime
if,
Minister.
if we were going to have a massive breach of, a GDPR kind of breach, I wanted to be
Yeah.
the one to do it.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's his last name?
Wolf. I'm pretty sure it's wolf.
I've forgotten actually. Yeah.
At least it's what on
It's,
on his
it's not
window.
Wolf. He's M Wolf Barbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
His last name's Wolf.
as listeners will know,
Or his last name's
Could be-
Barbers.
Or M.
as listeners will know, my hair is big and weird, so
Yeah.
he can
He can tame the beast.
he can do stuff with it. It's particularly big and
Isn't
weird.
it funny how
like
you
this.
only end up trusting like your barber,
Yeah.
like one's barber?
Yeah.
That's fun. Isn't
One's
it?
Barber.
I didn't. Well, the thing is, the reason I asked was your barber Turkish. I did not want to make assumptions about barbers, but my barber is Turkish, and he has never offered me a Turkish coffee.
No.
Although I would really like to have a Turkish coffee.
Does he sell it essentially?
does
Does he
it-
have
yeah,
it in his?
He'll quite have
He's
is-
got cigars
and booze
because I have the same
yeah.
barber as you.
Yeah, so much booze. Like
Yeah,
he
oh,
will
yeah.
quite happily like. Just,
The whole place looks like a set from like a gangster movie.
Yeah.
Like
That's the aesthetic a lot of barbers go for.
yeah, like
now,
a Guy
isn't it?
Ritchie movie, and it's got like what are those things that hold cigars in?
a humidor.
Humidor, yeah.
Humidor.
Fumidor.
Yeah.
Got one of those full of like cigars that are like hot dogs,
Sure.
and then he's got
They're
like
rotating.
They probably are hot
they
dogs,
might be
yeah.
hot dogs actually, yeah. But he smokes them weird. And then booze everywhere, crystal glasses,
Nice.
like gold taps.
I do like the idea that he has a fumidor, and also just next to it a hot dog, kind of like
Don't get him confused.
rotate. Oh, Nicholas,
Would you like a cigar in a bun? We catch up, man.
It just gives you a hot dog. Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's crunchier than I imagined, Mikkel. He just looks at me like horrified. Or I like the end of a hot dog in a bun. That's another way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I go?
Take us home.
Yes.
I'll go, shall I? I like giving across the impression that I'm a good neighbour.
But importantly, only giving across the impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, the key word is impression.
Do you remember, John, when we lived in what we called the House of Trouser, and the neighbour came round one day at 5 a.m. because we'd been partying all night on New Year's Eve and shouted at us, which I thought at the time was very unreasonable.
Yes.
Now I don't because I'm a good neighbour.
The thing is,
Oh, I see.
I love how
We got yelled
Can
at
I say? I think
in our own house.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, you say that like. Let's just go.
John's
back to
gonna side with the neighbour.
No,
now.
let's go
Yeah.
back to how you framed that story. You're like,
Oh, here we
you
go.
go like, do you remember that time where we got shouted at by our neighbour?
By
And
an
the
evil-
listeners go like, oh, that's awful.
It was
That's awful. Chris Ray, that gentle soul,
Scarred
shouted at him.
me for life. It did.
And then in the next breath, you're like, at 5 a.m.
Yeah, it was 5
And they're
a.m.
like, okay.
Oh, hang on.
On New Year's Eve.
okay.
Okay, because we've been partying. It's like,
Yeah. Oh no, we were in the wrong for sure.
yeah.
Anyway, we got shouted at by our neighbour, who I've seen recently, I should say.
Yes,
at
no,
one
she's-
of Liz's events, and she
Yeah.
remembered me. She gave me a big hug, so she's obviously either forgotten or forgiven us,
Or both.
or both. And we deserve to be shouted at. Let's be clear, because we were up at 5 a.m. being very loud, and we shouldn't have been. And I'm very sorry about that. But now,
Just you and Liz.
no,
No.
this was-
Liz was wisely not in the picture at this
Liz,
point.
Liz, would probably not be going out with me if she know me then.
Right.
So jump to this weekend just gone, which is what, let's say, maybe 8 to 9 years later, I guess.
Probably.
More or
yeah,
less.
Yeah.
Neighbour knocks on my door. Oh, hi, we're going to Mexico tomorrow. Oh, right.
Okay.
Would you mind looking after our dog?
What?
Just in the daytime. I need to just pop in on him on the day because their son's staying.
Okay.
And it's like, can you just pop in on our dog during the day? Because we trust you.
Right.
Isn't that nice that I've given across that impression?
No.
That I can be trusted for someone to give me their house keys? Jump from man who got shouted at 5 a.m. to man who's been given next door's keys for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And trusted not to do bad things.
How,
And also-
how you've come along.
Yeah.
How
and also-
I've come along,
Yeah.
how I've progressed.
But I feel like if you're doing that kind of Hollywood flash back and forward, you
Sure.
should probably include the scene where you throw up on a train.
That's got to be in the.
well, that was in
saga.
the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
that's
my
part.
point,
That's
yeah.
one of the stepping stones
Yeah.
that I used from like shouted out at 5 a.m., threw up on a train, asked to look after dog.
Trusted
So
with
those are the
house
three
then.
main.
You need
bits,
3
aren't they?
points to draw a
Those are the 3
triangle,
points.
yeah.
See, I thought your angle was going to be last minute, expecting you to look after their dog.
Well, you could look at it that
what
way.
a load of bullshit.
But they know that I don't have a lot going on, so that's fine. And I've been popping in, and the dog's been very happy to see me.
Even if that's true that you don't have a lot going on, I wouldn't want someone else to know that and assume that.
Oh no, maybe
How
not.
dare they?
But it's funny that they were obviously desperate because they probably had a plan that got scuppered, and they were. I think they were mildly embarrassed to ask me.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. I like dogs.
When you pop over to check on the dog, is there like a kind of chalkboard or whiteboard in the kitchen?
There actually is a blackboard.
Is there a series of names, and have they all been crossed off? And are you at the bottom in a different colour?
Not yet
no.
crossed off.
I did leave a note with my phone number on it for their son. Not that I'm trying to chat him up or anything. Just to say, if you need anything, like we can.
It's a real uggo.
Yeah,
So I never would. Not interested. Yeah.
not interested.
Four at best.
But I almost feel like I should bring their dog round. But he's quite old, and obviously I have a dog. He's a black lab as well, which is what Daisy is.
And your dog is a
Maniac.
Maniac is the word.
Less of a maniac than she was, but more of a maniac than their dog.
Yes.
And I feel bad leaving him actually, because he's like old and he's like he's like so happy to see me. But I go in, I look after him, I let him out, I sit in the garden with him for a while. But isn't that nice that I've progressed so much and that people trust me now to look after their house and their dog, not to like burgle them or have a party.
It does feel like there's a twist in this story.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I am kind of waiting for the other...
But
not at all.
I did shit everywhere.
No, I've been very responsible.
You walk over naked but for a gown.
Yeah.
No. Open the fridge.
No, I'm trying to tell you how much I've grown as a person.
But you
dick.
started this with impression.
And the other side of the neighbours have asked us to like look out. Maybe they're taking advantage. No, they've asked us to look out.
Maybe the whole road
like,
knows that you don't do anything at all.
Yeah, they must do. I really don't. I walk the dog. I work. I go to sleep.
Sure.
That's pretty much my week now.
Yeah. I think this shows character growth.
That's good though.
It's
It's
lovely.
to be honest, from my point of view, it's nice to be asked actually.
I am actually a bit jealous because I barely know my neighbours on either side.
The house I lived in before, I never spoke to my neighbours. It would be like if they had to, they say hello to me. If they had to.
Yeah.
But now we like talk to each other. We talk over the fence. We talk out on the driveway.
It's lovely.
I
I feel like I should be more like that.
I feel there's a weird spectrum here because you, Nick, don't really know your neighbours.
No.
You, Kashray, are beloved by your neighbours.
Well, they came to our wedding.
Well, there we go.
They were there very briefly. The ones whose dog we were looking after.
Yeah. And 50% of my neighbours actively hate me. So that's...
We've been here when they've shouted at you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't
which
see
was
that.
nice.
Oh, I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Never mind. Maybe next time. So yeah, that's my love, that my neighbours deem me an acceptable member of the human race.
Aww.
That's kind of like the validation you've maybe always been looking for.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
This is the end of your
down.
story.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm only 3 days into 2 weeks looking after the dog, so I don't want to.
Yeah, we'll see how it
soon.
is.
Nothing bad's happened. Yeah,
There's got to be that moment, like in an American Pie movie where everything goes so horribly wrong.
But I've had a dog for 4 years who's much harder work than this dog.
Yeah.
Like this dog's really easy.
No, I don't think it's the dog that's going to be the problem.
No.
I see.
There's going to be a poo incident or a puke incident.
Yeah, do they have...
The thing is, my house is so close that I'd like to think
Yeah, you'd like to think.
that won't be a thing, because I could just run to my house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd think so, wouldn't you? But you'd run through their lounge, spattering shit everywhere as you go.
That could happen.
But do they have a glass top table?
Do they
have...
No, I don't know. I've only been in the kitchen so far.
Do they have an aquarium?
So far, I'm not
Yeah,
going.
they have an
I'm not going in
aquarium.
any other rooms.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Do they have something big and breakable? Probably
Things that are
involving
ripe
glass?
for a big incident.
The kitchen is fairly straightforward, but I'm not going anywhere else. There's a glass door on the inside,
Oh yes, that's
which
good.
is potentially
You'll fall through that.
Yeah, you're gonna
that's
fall through
potentially
that.
the problem.
Down. You'll
I
fall
mean,
through the glass.
I'm not planning to go there pissed.
No, you're not planning to.
Not planning to.
You
No.
will.
I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
As Nick rightly said, you'll be the final day of your dog duties. You'll have
Next Friday.
done it all perfectly.
It'll have been great.
On your way out, you will trip.
Yeah, I
You'll-
mean that's
You'll stumble through that glass door.
could happen.
In the process of doing that, your panks will come down.
Yes.
And while you're shuffling around, you will inadvertently turn on the webcam
Yeah,
that they use to talk to their, grandchildren
Yeah.
on.
sure.
And you will start broadcasting footage of you
Yeah,
in a state of
around.
in a state of undress. And maybe there'll be like a fire. Could there be a fire?
There'll be a
somehow?
fire probably.
Like, but maybe
Yeah.
one of
I'd
your
imagine at
sleeves
some
is
point
on
there'll be a
fire.
fire.
One of your sleeves is on fire. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And
on the only
screaming.
garment I'm still wearing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then your panic reaction, like a cornered animal,
Yeah.
is to avoid any unnecessary weight.
I'd have thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be broadcast
Okay.
To
to
the grandchildren.
to the grandchildren. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, and that's how my political campaign starts.
That's how it all begins.
That's how it all begins.
And your story enters chapter 2.
And I still beat you. I still beat you after 10 years.
The headlines, all the pictures on the newspapers when you're running are you with your pants down, your sleeve
And I
on
still
fire.
win!
And you
Well,
still win.
Like it's all that footage, like playing out with just the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's slightly grainy and it's weird angles. And then the moment is like the shit flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Your arms on fire. The dogs dancing
There's
around.
blood
you,
everywhere.
there's glass and blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Freeze frame, and you just walk off. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Ray.
I'm Chris Ray.
And I'm running for Prime Minister.
But then that's the fourth step in the 3. So shout out at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Throw up on a train.
Yeah.
Look after dogs /
Redemption.
destroy house.
Yeah.
Become Prime Minister.
It's the
Those
natural,
are like the 4 steps, aren't
It's
they?
the
More or
natural
less.
4 steps. It's pretty much every 4 steps that every
I think
Prime
most
Minister we've
movies
had.
play out like that, don't they?
That's the 4-act structure, I believe,
I think so.
as it's known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good. That's something to look forward to, isn't it?
Great,
So,
yeah. That's the future
Excellent.
for you.
Delightful.
Wonderful.
So on that note, and with 101 episodes under our belt,
Oh, God, it
this
feels
is the
good.
beginning of a whole new era.
The end. Oh, no, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, beginning of the end. It's a whole new era.
It's kind of the same era.
This is chapter 2.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, we're
Well, that was a long chapter. If that was
very
chapter
long
1.
chapter, yeah.
It was a grind, actually.
It was,
Okay.
yeah.
So my point is, we've got to kickstart a whole new century.
Mm.
101 episodes,
Fucking
baby.
hell.
With that
Can't we
in
just do the
mind,
same?
with that in mind,
I'm
be
no,
quiet,
I'm
you
trying
awful
to-
man.
I'm trying to
with
speak.
that in mind,
Trying to speak, we know that.
what do we think won? Love or hate?
Well, I think love won.
I'm kind of. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm doing this on purpose.
Go, we've all
are
grown.
we- Are we
Well, I'll let
changing?
you know. Hopefully, the rest of the dog sitting will go well. So
Yeah,
then
keep
we'll
us
find out,
updated.
yeah.
I'll let you know.
Well, I also think that love won. We talked about the hates at great length.
I don't feel
but
good
I think
about
the loves had a purity to them.
They
kind
did
of-
a fresh start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't-
2022.
January.
It's a new year.
Yeah. It's rough.
To be honest, your opinions are irrelevant at this point, so you may as well say hate. If you want.
Overruled. Yeah,
It
say
doesn't
what you
matter.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Well, I'll withdraw my comment then.
That's marvellous.
What, you're going for no comment?
I'm no comment.
Okay, fine.
So on that note, a massive thank you to everyone who listened. Everyone who joined us for our live
Our
100th
100th episode.
Spectacular.
That went off without a hitch. It was perfect practically in every way.
It was marvellous, yeah.
Yeah,
This has
it
been a
was
massive come down from
well-oiled
no.
machine.
But I think we've learned so much now. We've grown as people.
What, since when?
Since then,
episode
since
one.
the 100th episode.
Oh, episode
Since
100,
2
yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've learned a lot.
My
since
point is, like, you know, we're not noobs anymore. We finally leveled up, got 101 episodes under our belt.
we have.
It's only going to get better.
You're only an official podcast once you've done at least 100 episodes. So we've just done that. We're now in a proper podcast, a grown-up podcast.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
You can get syndication now.
Yeah.
What? So I'll just play repeats of this.
Yep.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.